This podcast is brought to you by Revival, Book 1 of the Unveiled book series, and by the Spur of the Moment podcast.
Excuse me. Yeah.
Hi guys, welcome to the Your Broadway World Podcast, and I am gonna warn you guys. We're talking about Wicked the movie musical, and Wicked the musical, and the book. A lot of Wicked. And just fair warning, I might cry a lot because I just saw it like a couple hours ago, and I'm still kind of crying. Oh my god, I'm crying right now.
So just so I understand. Haley's definitely seen the movie. Jake, have you seen the movie?
I did. I saw it last night.
You saw the movie.
Yeah.
I have not seen the movie, and I've not seen the okay. And so you've both seen the musical.
Yes.
But Haley has not read the book, but Jake has read the book.
Yes.
I have read the book.
Okay, so as the person who has done none of this, I like to take a stab guessing what this is about, based on cultural osmosis, having watched the trailer and a quick 5-second read of the Wikipedia article I did 5 years ago. So there's Glenda the Good Witch, and then there's the Wicked Witch of the West.
Yes.
And they go to a high school, and initially they're not friends, but then they become friends, and there's a bit of latent sexual tension between the two of them. You think they might be in love with each other, and then the second act is she goes off and she does a Wizard of Oz, and the whole thing is you think she's the bad guy, but she's not the bad guy, and maybe the green skin is a metaphor for racism. Did I pretty much get it?
Yes and no. Depends on what part.
I wasn't expecting a yes. I was
I
expecting
was gonna
a
say the
full
same
no.
thing. Yes and no.
It depends on what you're talking about. The green skin, I'm not going to say full-blown racism, but persecution. Because there's her green skin, and then plus, well, I wouldn't even say persecution, more like what's the word? Ostracizing.
Ostracization?
Yeah, that one.
Interesting.
The animals would be like racism.
Interesting. They are not in the movie, right?
No, they are. I was
They
surprised.
are.
They're
Yeah.
in
Oh,
every
interesting.
they're in every, and well, they kind of have to be for that story though, because they're in the book, they're in the stage play. They are in the movie more than the stage play, which I actually liked for the most part.
Yep.
So my question about the movie is, and we have brought this up many a time, how does it wind up being 2 hours and 40 minutes when the main musical is only 2 hours 25?
Because there's more like backstory and detail that
Does it service it?
it services it.
Most of it, yeah.
I will say this. I told my mother this when we got home. I was like, shameless plug and hot take. I liked the movie a lot more than I liked the musical. Because
Really?
the musical has a lot of plot holes that the movie filled.
Well, the movie's got a fair amount, but okay. If you would share,
like in the movie, we know a lot more about Elphaba's childhood.
true. Yeah, there are a couple of additional scenes that flesh that out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't know that I call that a plot hole, but yeah, I think the movie has to be careful because I say this whenever we're talking about movies or television, is even when you're talking about a well-established IP, when you're creating the story, you still have to assume that your viewer has never seen the source material that you're talking about. So,
Yeah.
and I think this movie did a fantastic job of that, because 70% of the people in the theater that I went to were clearly fans of the musical. But, like, for example, I took my girlfriend with me. She's never even seen The Wizard of Oz, so she had
Really?
she's not from the United States, so, but
Yeah.
but I mean, you want to talk about confused? But
Yeah.
even she liked it. She's like, "Why do the monkeys have wings?" I'm like, "It's a thing. It's a thing.
The
Just
thing.
It's a thing." Which is really, that's very surreal, because we all saw The Wizard of Oz when we were children, I presume.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
So
I saw
blue
that last
flying
week.
monkeys. Yeah. So, but I mean, the first time. So, like, the blue flying monkeys are not a weird thing for us. We get that reference, as Captain America would say, about the same movie too. But for somebody who's never seen The Wizard of Oz, that's way out of left field. Way out of left field.
Interesting. My thing, like, I will say, I did sneak a peek at. I mean, I joked, the one song I know from this play is Defying Gravity, so I needed to see how Defying Gravity was staged, and, like, my goodness, spoiler alert, I guess, but my goodness, I make fun of Dear Evan Hansen for doing nothing with its staging. My God, the staging of that number. I'm like, this is what musicals need to be. Like, the effort that has gone into making this look exciting and dynamic and interesting, and, like, this is what the movie musical. This is using the medium of film to be interesting. Like, I watched The Producers, and that movie just does nothing with the medium of film, and I'm like, oh, this is like, yeah, this is what musicals should be. Make more of this, please.
I've never seen The Producers, by the way.
Oh, really? That surprises me.
Also,
Legitimately surprises
it's
me.
very obvious that you don't enjoy the Guten Tag Hop Club.
Actually, no, I did quite. Will Ferrell as the German was weird. It was funny. That movie, though, was one of those things where I'm like, I feel like if I understood Broadway better, I would maybe appreciate the sport.
I'm gonna get so much hate for saying that.
Well, did you never see The Producers? I mean, no, I hadn't until this week, so that's completely fair.
Yeah, no, it's not. I had a thought, and it's gone now. Okay, so I want to preface this with, anything that I say critical of this movie is nitpicky, because overall it was incredible. It was very well done. So anything negative I have to say is real nitpicky, where it's like, if I were put in charge, this is how I would do it, but I don't think there's only like one or two things that I actually think affected the film as a whole in a negative way. But again, they're very minor. The staging of Defying Gravity, I would have changed a little bit, because Haley, when the song is kind of coming into its climax, there is a break in the vocals, but there's not a break in the music, and the music crescendos up. In the movie, there's a break and then action, which kind of cuts the song out. It cuts the legs out from under the song.
Oh, you're talking about the bit where she's singing and then she all of a sudden sweeps over on the broom?
No, it's when she goes around flying right before she goes, so if you care to find me.
And then she goes, yeah, I know exactly what you mean, where it makes that break in the flow of the song.
I mean, it just stops it, because it actually goes into a completely different musical theme, which I understand why you would do if that's the choice you want to make, right? But because frankly, the music of that part of Defying Gravity is not long enough. But it just, that kind of a song. And I will say, if you've never heard that song before, you wouldn't notice it and it wouldn't bother you. But if you love that song like I do, I was just like, oh.
I noticed it too, but it didn't bother me.
Like I said, it's not a huge deal, because the shot was, I mean, the sequence is cool. It does what it's supposed to do. I didn't love how it cut the most iconic song from the musical out at the knees, and then you have to, granted, it's real easy to restart because it starts on a crescendo, right? But
I having heard it only like once, very briefly, I will say that I like it when a movie version is more orchestral. Like, it sounds more epic and sweeping, and it definitely had that vibe to me. Me and Jordan today, we talked about Les Mis, the movie, and with the big thing with that, we were like, the rhythm and the pacing of all the songs is off, and it makes those songs sound
it's
better.
hot. It's not. I applaud the film version of Les Mis for attempting to do what they did, but it didn't work.
So I'm like, at least it sounds like Defying Gravity. Like at least the
Yeah,
rhythm doesn't
fair,
sound off.
fair.
That actually leads me into my next point. Was like the movie itself. It does an incredible job of attempting what's really hard is like singing live. It's live singing.
Is it live singing?
Yeah,
it is, yeah.
they live sung the whole
Wow.
movie.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind. Bravo. Because they did successfully what Les Mis tried to do.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And it
Wow.
sounds, but Les Mis,
It sounds very good.
Les Mis was trying to like turn a musical that was an opera and turn it into dialogue, which I think
Yeah.
is why. Whereas this has dialogue, so they can have those diegetic or non-diegetic musical moments and sing it live, and it becomes more, I guess, of a it's not trying to be a historical epic, I guess, what like Les Mis wants to be. I think maybe not that we should compare Wicked to Les Mis, but
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yes and no. There's similar elements, right? But
in an interview, like they said, like we had to live sing it because that's the only way we were going to do it. We decided like that's the only way we are going to do it because it's wicked.
Yeah.
It makes the music sound more authentic. Like it allows you to act better, and also that's impressive considering they're not Broadway, like they're not those kind of performers.
They are.
I was gonna say, yeah, I believe they are. You'd have to be to sing those parts.
Yep.
Is Ariana Grande? She's on Broadway.
She's been on Broadway before.
Really?
When she was a kid, she was on 13 on Broadway.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay. Well, and I will say this much. So,
fair enough.
I had two major concerns when I realized that this was real and they were making it. Haley, you can correct me because I had just never heard of her before. The actress that plays Elphaba,
Cynthia Erivo. She was in the color purple on Broadway.
Oh, okay, gotcha. I wasn't worried about her singing ability because I even said in the trailer, which is really funny because the version of Defying Gravity that was in the trailer is not what was in the film. Mm-hmm. I don't know why they put that version in the trailer because it was significantly not as good as what was in the movie.
Right.
I'm like, so I had concerns.
That was my idea.
Yeah. I had concerns about that because the first time I saw the trailer, I was like, oh, like again, I'm not saying she's a bad singer, but that's a very difficult song to sing.
Yeah.
And so I was kind of like, I wouldn't have led with that. And then also when the whole controversy broke out, I'll be honest, I still think the actress is, I mean, I'll just say it. She comes across as kind of a bitch to me. And I was afraid that would affect the portrayal of the character. I will say this much: she can act. If nothing else, she can act because Elphaba was played. She played Elphaba. I mean, it was great, and she had emotional range. She had depth. Everybody had depth. That being said, and then the other concern I had was that they were going to overproduce it, which there were moments where they kind of just couldn't help themselves. I.e., like the beginning with the flying monkey sequence, I'm like, do we need this? Because we don't really need this. We don't really need this. And then the other one this is probably my biggest nitpick, which is kind of a plot hole too, is when they go to the Ozdas ballroom and all the musicians are animals.
That was a little weird.
It was weird, and it was also after they had taken Dr. Tillman away. Oh, no, wait, that was before.
That was before.
That was before. Oh, okay. Never mind.
Before.
So nitpick aside, I'm sorry. I was getting that mixed up in my head.
Yeah, that was way before.
Yeah, it was weird to me. I was like, this, I mean, like, it's cute, but I don't think it's really necessary.
It was funny, though.
Yeah, it's one of those things, which that's me as a producer. I'm real budget conscious, so I'm like, hey, why don't we save $400,000 and use it somewhere else? Or I don't know, just not spend $500,000 on an animated chipmunk, just me. But that being said, I wasn't the director and it wasn't so bad that it took away.
How's the pacing, considering it's nearly 3 hours long?
I didn't realize it was 3 hours.
Me neither.
Really?
I like it ended and I looked at the clock. I was like, really? It's already over?
Did you like the bait? Did you like the bait and switch they did in the title card where it had Wicked in the part, and then the tiny little part one fades in?
Yes. And I don't know if you noticed this. The way that looked is the exact same way the Wizard of Oz opening credit scene looks. And that was a fun little Easter egg.
I just honestly can't believe this movie exists. Like it's set in development hell. I was saying this to Haley earlier off camera, but I was saying how in varying degrees I've seen a rumor or story about a Wicked movie coming for like a decade at this point. It feels like
for 2 years.
Oh, longer than that, I think. I was going to say somebody was probably sniffing around once the Broadway show hit big.
Yeah, I've seen various actors, directors, like coming in and out of the project.
Well, and then you also have to remember that they were whispering about a Wicked movie being based more on the book around the time Oz the Great and Powerful came out, and that movie shit the bed. So they were probably every studio was probably like, nope, Dark Wizard of Oz doesn't work. People don't want it.
That was they wanted that one. Yeah, I think because it was looking like Disney might produce this. I think at one point they were talking about it.
And I will say this, like us theater fans and theater kids have been waiting for this movie for like 20-something years.
How old is the musical?
Because the musical is 21 years old.
Is it 21?
That was 2003, right?
2003, yeah.
Holy mackerel, yeah, it's over to.
So we've been waiting for a very long time for
multiple years,
a thing like this to happen.
Interesting. Yeah. I didn't realize it was that old. We were saying it's still running on Broadway, right?
Yep. Yeah, fun fact too, and I just read about this. Ticket sales have like been booming ever since the movie came out.
Yeah. People ask why make a movie.
The book sales, like there's new printings of the book. Like this is all the media machines behind this for sure.
I mean, my hope is that Hollywood learns from this and we get more musicals. I
want more good musicals though.
That's fair. That's for me. I'll take a bad musical. I'm okay with a bad musical because those are fun to make fun of.
Well, I'm glad it did well because I was very disappointed with the performance of West Side Story's remake because that film's a gem and virtually nobody. It's very good. So I'm glad this one's going to do well. And holy crap, Ariana Grande just bringing it.
Ariana Grande, I have to just say this to the camera. If I don't know if she's watching this, but if you are, thank you.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going negative. I was about to be like, hey now. Because I don't know what you're talking about.
I have to say this to the camera. Thank you so much to you and Cynthia both. You took so much good care of my witches. Like, thank you.
Yeah. Speaking of witches, go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say people were so skeptical of her in particular going into this. They were like,
I never was.
She's not Christina Chenoweth. She's no Christina Chenoweth.
Christine Chenoweth, you
mean? Christine Chenoweth. Damn it.
But she's
Kristen
she's
Chenoweth,
like she's like one of the few handfuls of people in Hollywood that can actually sing in a similar range.
Yeah, she was.
So I was never worried.
Glinda. She was.
I was never worried about Ariana Grande. In fact, when I saw that she was Glinda, I was like, "Oh, okay, we're good. We're good."
Oh, fair enough.
Well, not just that though, but she's known Kristen Chenoweth since she was like 10.
Yeah.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of the OGs though, how about that little Easter egg during One Short Day?
Oh my god.
Loved it.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about.
I was in the theater. I was like, it's them.
It's them. And I love the fact that she did that, like, almost like alphabet call.
Oh, and then Kristen Chenoweth putting her hand over Ariana's mouth when she.
Nope.
I loved it, and I'm glad it wasn't just a blink and you miss it moment. Like they had a whole number. They had a whole, and Idina especially grinning ear to ear the whole time because they both knew how to use parlance from pro wrestling. They knew the pop they were going to get in the movie theaters
Mhm.
And they
for
did.
sure.
Like there
And
were
what's-
people gasping in
But-
my ear.
But speaking of that moment, though, like all poor Ariana was trying to do was sing, and she's like, "Nope, mm-mm."
Nope. Ah, that
I-
was so nice. It was so
I-
nice.
I'm loving a cameo from the original. See, I started. What made me realize this more than ever. I don't want to see original cast members come back and reprise roles from Broadway again. I think giving them
Yeah.
a fun cameo, like
I mean, it worked
a
with-
moment to shine.
It worked
kind
with
of
this.
worked. It worked. It kind of worked with it kind of
No.
worked with Evan Hansen.
No,
I feel like it did.
ghoulish, way too old man. Yeah, okay, agree to disagree.
That was my only problem was he was too old, but his
He's too
voice,
old.
his voice
He's too-
was
Oh, he still sounds good, but
Yeah.
I mean, he sounds great, but he's too old, and like the makeup they have him in does him no favors. The way that movie's shot, it does him no favors. Like he just looks like an adult man singing to a very teenage girl. It's just, but also,
this
but
is
also,
gonna make a fun short.
but also to the
It gave you the
counterpoint,
ick.
Rent, which has all of the original cast, is well received, so it can go
Not
either
all.
way.
Not all. They had new actresses for Joanne and Mimi.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Yep.
I'm not a Rent fan. I just knew that. I know that like Adina Menzel. See, I'm keeping it related. I know she came back, and I know like Jesse All Martin came back, and I think like most of the main cast came back. I think.
Most of the main cast, it was only Mimi and Joanne.
Yeah, and apparently, if you like Rent, people like that movie. So.
Oh no, it was very good. It was very good.
Very good.
So just to gush on Ariana more, because not only was the singing on point, she nailed the character.
She nailed it. But
She
like I
nailed
said,
it.
she had Kristen Chenoweth
Sure,
as her
sure,
mentor.
sure, but you still have to be able to do it. And I would like to point this out. I'm sure everybody can relate to this, but when I was leaving my theater, at least half the girls at one point were doing the hair flip
That's awesome.
and laughing, and I was like, this is tremendous. There were
Yeah,
so
and
many.
You know what's funny though is she in an Ariana said in an interview that like she's like I had to go to the chiropractor after the movie because like of that.
There's a lot of weird body positioning she does, which again is a callback from the musical, so it didn't come out of nowhere. But there's so many little things in this movie that were just perfection. Like, did you notice too, Fiero's dance movements were extremely atypical, and spoiler alert, Fiero becomes the scarecrow. And I realized about halfway through his first dance number, I'm like, oh, he's moving like a scarecrow. I get it now. And then they gave Bach a last name in this one. And I was like, that's a little on the nose. Bach
Mhm.
Woodsman.
My sister said something that kind of irked me a little bit. She was like, I don't really feel like Ethan Slater's Bach and Ariana had like chemistry.
None. No. And
Aren't
okay, so
they
here's
together in real life.
Yeah.
so okay. I got a couple of nitpicks, and like I said, these are very little nitpicks. Where the fuck are all the Munchkins in Munchkin Land? Because I saw a bunch of normal height people.
Maybe
That's
much.
what a munchkin technically is. I mean, the Wizard of Oz is different because even in the musical, they're average height people.
And why are they called Munchkins?
I don't know.
See, I think the musical screw, which actually, yeah, now that you mention that, that is true. Or that is accurate because it wasn't false. But yeah, they do. That's weird. Although they do make it a point to show that Bach is at least a little bit shorter. But yeah,
Well,
so no,
because he's a short guy to
Yeah.
be honest.
right, but yeah, no Munchkins in Munchkin Land. But that was retconned in the musical, so you can't blame the movie for that.
Yeah.
Also, who's the actor that played Fiero in this?
Jonathan Bailey, who is in Bridgerton.
I gotta say, loved his spoken portrayal of Fiero.
Loved him.
I did not love his singing.
I loved his singing.
No. Okay, I need to clarify. His singing there was nothing wrong with his singing, but singing as Fiyero,
Mhm.
it wasn't. Like I said, it wasn't bad, right? I'm not
Mhm.
saying he did a horrible job. It's just it was a little bit more reserved than I would, which it might have been an issue of direction too. To me, it came off a little bit more reserved, whereas that number is supposed to be this big, like,
Mhm.
which having it in a library was kind of weird, but that's supposed to be a big, fun number, and it was really subdued compared to what it's supposed to be. But it is also too. It's also supposed to go directly into the Ozdust Ballroom as opposed to the interlude they have.
I loved that scene. I loved the fact when they go like and they spin around in the like the book wheel.
Oh, I hated that. I hated that so
I
much.
love that. I thought that was fun.
What's holding the books? Gravity's a thing.
Not in
Not Oz magic.
No.
not in
Apparently
eyes.
not. This is Dustin. My overanalyzation hat is coming on. It's like, okay, let's even assume that you live in a place where you can manipulate gravity in that way. Why? Why would you do it? Why would you go to the trouble? It just doesn't make sense. Use the Dewey Decimal System.
This
It's
sounds
Oz.
like
Shut up.
Have you guys seen the Peter Pan movie with Hugh Jackman in it where they sing "Smells Like Teen Spirit"?
No.
Oh, okay. Me and Jordan hate that movie for the simple reason that there's a magic flying pirate ship because of Peter Pan, and the explanation for why the pirate ship can fly is just simply that it's a magic flying pirate ship. So anytime anything ridiculous happens, we go. It's just a shorthand. We go magic flying pirate ship. So in this context, it sounds it's sort of like it's Oz. Oz is ridiculous.
Magic non-falling books.
Magic non-falling books. That's what I'm saying. It's magic. Or you see, you don't watch The Simpsons, but there's a Xena being like, anytime you have any questions like that, a wizard did it.
Wizard.
A wizard did it.
A wizard
Okay,
did it.
so I'm curious. How did you guys feel about Jeff Goldblum as the wizard?
Loved it.
I mean,
Really, I found it quite flat.
Here's what I will say. As someone who hasn't seen this, I will give you two varying opinions. I will say I love Jeff Goldblum in anything that man can do no wrong, and it does feel out of place in this movie, based on the marketing.
That's a better way to put it. It felt as though because I like Jeff Goldblum too, but as the wizard, I just didn't think it was a great fit because for one thing, he's far too old to be playing the wizard at this point in time.
Isn't the whole thing between the wizard and Elphaba? Doesn't he like seduce her? Isn't that the whole thing? And then it turns out he's a dick.
Well, he doesn't seduce her romantically. He kind of like tries to seduce her with a position of power to basically be his muscle. So
that's
in a way,
that's where
she's seduced. She's seduced the same way Anakin was seduced. Like Palpatine didn't want to bone him. He wanted him as an enforcer. And
we'll see that in part 2, I think.
I was gonna say he's the one who convinces the world that she's the Wicked Witch, right?
Oh yeah. Master of propaganda. Which actually, that's more Madame Morrible, isn't it? Who I also didn't love that casting either. Again, nothing wrong with the actress. It's just that her portrayal I felt was a little flat.
The wizard sing? Does the wizard sing?
He's supposed to, but
does Jeff Goldblum sing?
He's saying
he rhythmically speaks.
Oh, so we got a Christopher Walken King Louis situation.
Sentimental Man, though. He sings that.
Yeah, but I don't know that I would call that singing. I would call that humming with words. If that makes sense.
Bollywood style, but musically speaking.
Yeah, which again, I'm yeah, it's like I'm not here to cut up Jeff Goldblum because I mean, but
I am. Let's cut up Jeff Goldblum.
No,
okay. I'm kidding.
To me, it seemed like they were just trying to get a name.
I mean,
and it felt flat to me. That's all I'm saying.
I was just gonna say the Jeff Goldblum thing that forever amused me is that they gave him an entire show called The World According to Jeff Goldblum, and I have no idea what that show is about. I don't have a clue. I don't know if it's like a documentary show or a comedy show, what the deal is, but they Disney Plus as a flagship show was like Jeff Goldblum needs a show. They launched the service with that show. so he could do no wrong. Also, he's one of Rachel's gay dads on Glee.
Yeah,
that
and
is
that's
true.
how I know him. That's how I know him.
What? That's how you know Jeff Goldblum?
That's how I know him. That's how I found
Not
out about him.
Jurassic Park?
Well, Jurassic Park is scary.
That's so fair.
I mean, I
That's where I
watched
know
Glee
him from.
first, but then I watched Jurassic Park, and then I knew him from that. But I knew him from Glee first.
Not
Very
Independence
Gen Z
Day.
thing of you to say. Or Independence.
That's a
I've
very
never- I've
that's a
never
very
seen
Gen Z
Independence
thing.
Day. I've never seen Independence Day.
So
Oh.
when I say welcome to Earth, you don't know what I'm talking about. That is so
No.
sad.
No,
Yeah,
I'm
I
I'm a
only know
Disney
Welcome
and
to-
Broadway
Glee's a
person.
very
Come
Gen Z.
on, I'm a Disney
Welcome
and
to
Broadway person.
Earth.
I'm a
But it's funny because I only know Wicked because of Glee.
Yeah.
The first time I ever saw anything from Glee was when Kurt blew the high note in the singing competition, and I was like, "What is this song? I must know this." And then I looked up Defying Gravity. Defying Gravity is my favorite song from that musical. I know
It's
I know
everybody's
popular.
favorite song.
I mean, yes, the basic anthem. I also love what's it called? For Good. I really like For Good.
For Good is a great song.
And then I'm a TikTok person, so I obviously know Popular.
I love how they staged both Popular and it's called the song title is Loathing, correct?
Yep.
Yeah,
No,
I love how they
no,
staged.
It's What is this feeling?
What is this feeling? Yes, you're right. I love how they staged both of those songs.
Yeah, I do too. I will say though, people like online, like the videos on YouTube, people keep thinking that that's AI, and it's not.
What's AI?
The music video short thing that they released.
Oh, just like a clip from the number?
Yeah, a clip from the number. They think that that's AI.
Hmm.
And I'm like,
Well,
no, it's
no.
not.
I mean, there's a thing called skin paint. You can color someone green without AI. It's a thing that they
Right.
did before in the 30s. Although, granted, that paint made people sick and caught on fire. But we've come a long way. But paint still
Yeah.
exists.
Yeah. Yeah, it did. It did make her very sick and catch on fire.
Both.
Yeah. That's
wanna-
that's a true fact.
Want to actually go back to like, because we were kind of talking about like little Easter eggs. Did you see the little Easter egg of like it was like of an open book, but then like the shadow of like the hands kind of.
Hmm.
There's a specific photo of the OG Wizard of Oz. I'm blanking on her name.
The Wicked Witch?
The Wicked Witch from the Wizard of Oz. I'm blanking on her name. But
The actress?
I can look that up.
Margaret
the
Hamilton?
actress. Margaret
Margaret
Hamilton.
Hamilton.
Margaret
Yeah.
Hamilton, thank you. And she does
I'm impressed
that.
I did that.
Like she does that, and that exact shape in that book is
Huh.
like that exact shadow is in that book.
Huh.
Oh, nice.
Margaret Hamilton, an
yeah.
actress so convincing that she had to go on Mr. Rogers to convince people that she wasn't evil.
Yeah, she
I
did.
remember that.
Yeah.
That
Like,
she
I'm a
did.
good person, actually.
I remember that. That was funny.
Not that bitch that played Glinda.
Yeah. Oh, is she actually mean? Those always make me laugh.
She was apparently very mean to people, particularly the little people that were playing the Munchkins. Allegedly, I wasn't there. I wasn't alive in the 30s.
Yeah.
So,
To be fair, that movie had a whole host of problems.
ooh, God, yeah.
How many Easter eggs did you spot, Jake?
Oh gosh, I don't know, because I'm going to be honest. I was actually able to really enjoy this movie. Normally when I watch movies, I'm not necessarily looking for things, but I'm kind of like grading it in my head. It's just something that I do. It became very clear that this movie was going to be good right out of the gate, that I kind of stopped grading it and started really, really enjoying it pretty early on. So I don't know. I saw some stuff, i.e., like I recognized. I'm curious what they're going to do with the shoes. But like, for example, I noticed Fierro's whole like dancing like a scarecrow. I noticed Bach Woodsman. Obviously, we know the lion cub is the cowardly lion.
Did
Fuck.
you see in the beginning, before they do the title card, where they had Dorothy,
Mhm.
they had them walking the yellow brick
They were,
road?
yeah, they were skipping. Although, wasn't the timing off on that? Because, oh no, they were going back to the Emerald
They were
City.
going
Never
back
mind.
to they were
Yeah,
going
yeah,
back.
I forgot to go twice. Yes, you're
Yep.
correct.
Yep.
The movie's correct.
And then there's the poppy flowers that.
Yes, the poppies. Yep, and they put people to sleep, so that's a thing.
Yeah.
So, okay, so in terms of the second half of this thing, is it literally just the second half of the play now? Like, are
Yes.
they gonna have to
I
add
would-
more stuff?
Yes.
No, I would
They're-
guess. I mean, they added stuff to the first half too, so
Yeah.
that's
So
how
is
they
this-
got the elongated
Yeah.
runtime.
Do we know that is the second one gonna be equally as long, or is it gonna be shorter?
I would imagine they'll go for a similar length because I mean, Defying Gravity is right in the middle.
Yeah.
Because I know that's where it ends. That's for intermission, and that's where it goes to intermission. Which I was saying to Haley earlier. I kind of love that because, like, yeah, it's like we're in a really long intermission between movies.
I mean, we are.
And I told Justin I hate that because I don't want to waste a damn 1 year.
Well, here is it only 1 year? Because I thought they wish it because isn't it a 3-year time jump in the play?
Yeah, but
I
it's
think
only
I think they should make people wait 3 years. I do.
you shut your mouth.
It might be
No,
less than a
because
year actually. 'Cause I think they
no, see
pushed it back early.
that's too quick of a payoff. I like
don't
waiting
care.
for shit.
I want shit to happen in real time.
I want the actors to actually look older and not have to be digitally aged up or
But they
any of
already
this.
filmed it all.
Well, they didn't
Go
ask
back,
me.
refilm it.
Yeah, go back and reshoot it because all the garbage you did already is inadmissible.
Bin it.
It's
Toss it in the
trash.
bin.
Ariana, Cynthia, I am sorry for those two.
Oh, don't be mad, Ariana. I thought you were stellar.
It looks good. I
I'm
want to watch it.
excited,
It's on my
though.
list.
I'm excited.
I'm excited to, and I know that we've seen like Ariana in the bubble dress in like the first scene, but I'm excited to see like the whole thing, like when she
Yeah.
like goes up the stairs.
Do you guys
Mhm.
think that once part 2 comes out, they'll do like a 4-hour like special edition where it's both parts combined into one?
Oh, I would
Oh,
love
yeah.
that. I would
Oh yeah,
love
you
that.
have to. You have to.
Please.
And then they do
You
a re-release?
absolutely do.
And,
Yeah,
and,
I mean, yeah.
and am I going to see it again next weekend? Yes.
How are you guys feeling? Do you think this is going to see some awards attention? Or is it too mainstream?
Yeah, I think so.
There's Ariana is like the first one on the list for an Oscar.
So the only reason I think she might not win an Oscar is because she is, and I don't mean this disparagingly because I understand it. I'm not going to say she's copying because she doesn't do everything that Kristen Chenoweth did, but to me, an Oscar would probably go to somebody that's not really doing an homage to a previously acted part, if that makes sense.
I that makes sense to me. You want something transformative. The Academy loves transformation. They're big
Yeah.
about transformation. If it's too similar to, and also just my thing would be, is it too mainstream because it's a musical? It being but like musicals used to be big Oscar winners, right? But they've become kind of like a cultural joke almost. Like I was saying to Haley earlier, I'm proud that this thing advertised itself as a musical and succeeded as a musical. Like it didn't, because the common trend now is to hide the fact that you're a musical. But I know you said that you don't think
Just
they could have,
like
but they could have tried.
Mean Girls.
Just
Mean
like
Girls
Mean
kid.
Girls.
I roll my eyes. I'm getting so mad. Thank you, Justin. Thanks for making me
The
mad
fact-
again.
Hit the
Who
fact
does
that it's a
that?
musical. I do that. I'm good at that.
I'm so mad now.
Me with my classic hot takes. Classic hot takes.
But okay, and then I told Justin my hot take. I think I just said that earlier, but I'll say it again. I loved the movie way more.
You don't know what this is, by the
Not
way.
the sound.
This isn't the soundtrack.
The soundtrack? What is? Oh my god! What is it?
This is a bootleg of the original Broadway production.
I hate you so much. Give me that.
I may or may not be able to make you a copy.
Please do, please do. Oh my God, please do. I will
Like
love
a
you
pro
forever
shot
more than I
bootleg?
do now.
It's not a pro shot, but it's well done considering somebody snuck a camera into a theater.
Interesting.
It's not
I
bad. It sounds actually pretty good too. I was kind of surprised. And this is in 2003. So that's
oh
incredible.
ooh. That's
Was
original
that somebody you?
cast.
No, I'm just kidding. I was like, was
No, it
that
wasn't
somebody
me.
you?
No, on Broadway. Yeah,
Yeah.
no.
I mean
See,
that's how
this
I've
was
seen Book of
during
Mormon.
this was during an age of the internet where the internet was still the Wild West.
Yep. Yep. That's how I've seen most of Avenue Q and most of Avenue Q, Dear Evan Hansen and Book of Mormon is because of good old fashioned bootlegging.
Because I found a bootleg on YouTube, but it's like all like different angles. And I'm
Oh,
like,
see, this is on one
stop.
angle, and you're not at a really sharp angle. You're almost even with the stage. You're like a little off kilter, but not enough to be
Yeah.
distracting.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like,
interesting.
like,
there's only one time where they put the camera down for like a split second because somebody came by. But
like mine is just like my bootleg that I watched was like different like angles of everything. I'm like, we don't need different with
well,
every single
see,
scene.
I also really think they should do and I'm sure they have one somewhere of like a professionally filmed and edited original Broadway production.
Mhm.
And
Absolutely.
I think they should release that.
They need
I'm
to.
I'm I mean, we're seeing more and more, I guess because they're discovering there's financial viability. Because I understand the hesitation to do pro shots. Like I totally get it. They well in their mind it discourages people from going to the actual show, and but it's like for someone like me who
It
lives on the
doesn't
West
though.
Coast,
Well,
I
if you do it 21 years later too, it's like,
yeah. I can't go watch something on Broadway, so yeah, it's the only chance I'm going to get to experience Broadway, and I really like that they're filming these pro shots and they're putting them in theaters. Like I think, especially yeah, for Wicked, get a pro shot out there, put it in theaters as a companion piece. People would show up for it.
Yeah.
oh,
Like I
I
said,
would have.
Yeah.
like the movie literally boost up Broadway ticket sales.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
here's a question: if you could take one musical that hasn't already been adapted into a film, what would you do?
Jagged Little Pill.
Ooh, good choice. Book of
You could
Mormon.
do like a, yeah, Book of Mormon needs to be a movie.
Yeah,
No.
Book of Mormon.
Oh
Book
my
of
God,
Mormon needs to be Book of Mormon needs to be burned.
I disagree. Yeah, she doesn't like Book of Mormon, Jake.
I hate it.
Well, you see, Justin, she doesn't believe.
She doesn't believe that the Lord God has created the universe.
I believe it's garbage.
Look,
And
I'm
I
not gonna
believe that ancient Jews built boats and
the
sailed
post.
to America.
I fully believe they could get the original cast back. That
You
like the
can.
nice thing about that is like they're not age dependent characters. So absolutely, Andrew Reynolds and Josh Gad are like hot right now. Um, yeah, I absolutely believe you could. I mean, they're making a movie with Kendrick Lamar that they're currently filming.
I only know Josh Gad from Frozen, and then I hate Frozen.
Yeah, see, this is before Josh Gad hit it big.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just yeah.
This is when he was slumming it.
Yeah, because
I
I
knew who he
never,
was at that point, but yeah, he wasn't super
I
big.
didn't know
No,
who he was until Frozen. So
I mean,
Book of Mormon has entered my consciousness so much that anytime somebody answers the phone and goes, "Hello," I'm like, "Hello, my name is Elder Price."
and I would like to. My favorite
I'm
version of
gonna.
that is of that song is there's a Tony performance where they have some of the original cast and the guy who does the initial hello, my name is Elder Grant, and I would like to share, and he just does it so creepy and aggressively, and I would like to share with you the most amazing. I've talked to so many Mormons because of that musical, just
But
straight
isn't that
up.
their shtick? Is they do it creepy?
Not
That's the
really. It
whole.
depends on the Mormon you talk to, but I there was
Um,
one. Sorry, good.
I'll respond quickly. I'll say that.
Yeah, there was one time one of them stopped me on the street, and like they had clearly asked 100 people, and I was just looking to avoid going home for some reason, and they were like, "Oh, would you like to talk to us about whatever?" And I was like, "Sure," and they were like, "Oh." Oh, we weren't prepared for this.
We keep getting Mormons at our door, and they ask us that, and my mom literally goes, "No, we're good," and then shuts the door.
So, how do you think I got this?
Yeah, look, it's a wild book. It's a
Oh, you
book.
got it. Oh, it's wild, and I mean, kind of case in point. So
This is
most
a wicked
versions,
episode. How did we get into Book of Mormon?
because they sing too.
They sing
They sing too.
in a Hammerstein style musical.
If you would like just sort of a synopsis of, the Church of Latter-day Saints, because fun fact, they actually do not like to be called Mormons.
They do not, no.
They do not. This kind of perfectly encapsulates it right there.
But they also love the Book of Mormon, ironically.
Well, yeah. So if you can't tell, it's a little blurry. That's Jesus amidst a bunch of white people and Native Americans simultaneously.
Yes, it is.
Because that's somewhere in Missouri.
Yep, that's what they believe. That Jesus came to America.
Yep.
The best.
The Garden of Eden was in Jackson County, Missouri.
Jackson County, Missouri. The episode of South Park where the family tells the story, that's apparently unbelievably accurate. Of course,
that's pretty legit. Although, Justin, we're becoming the problem.
We're becoming the problem.
You are.
The veil between her world and the other realm has faded, unleashing magic into the lives of ordinary citizens. Awakening from a 4-year coma, Tori James discovers a world transformed. For some, like Tori, the unveiling ignites hidden abilities. With her expertise in classical languages, she's drawn into a world of thieves and magic. Join Tori on her magical journey in Book 1 of the Unveiled book series, Revival. Unveil your destiny.
You're
Wicked.
Yeah.
Wicked. Part 2 coming out next year.
I did love the way they did No One Mourns the Wicked. That was a really good number.
That. And can I just say this though? Like,
no.
The shut up. You asked.
I'm sorry, I have to do that every time somebody says that. I just
no.
Oh my god.
I can't resist. I never can. Everybody has the same reaction too, because they're like half listening and then they realize, wait, did he just say no?
You asshole.
I know. Please continue.
Now
you may.
I want to.
Oh well, never mind.
You asshole.
Did I make you lose your thought legitimately?
Yes. Oh, I will say this one thing. It is a kick to the gut when they literally hand Glinda the lit torch to throw at the gigantic witch, and I'm like,
yeah. And Ariana has a couple of moments where her facial expressions were, I mean, top notch, because they let you know that this is very much an act for her, and she has to keep, the facade up. Yeah. But that brings a good question. Where in this movie did you cry? So I wonder if we share some of those moments.
I cried at No One Mourns the Wicked. I cried at the Wizard and I.
Really? Okay.
Yes. And then I definitely cried at Defying Gravity.
So I wouldn't say I cried, but I got really emotional because it was quite a bit darker in the movie than on the stage play when Dr. Dillman flips the board and it says animals should be seen, not heard. And then subsequently the scene where he's taken out, because in the movie we actually see that, as opposed to in the stage play, it's just mentioned. Yeah.
Is it just mentioned, or I thought it was they showed that?
Him actually being dragged out of the room? I don't think so.
I feel like they do. I think
it's been a minute. It's been a minute. So I may very well be wrong, but I could have sworn that they come to class and then Dr. Dillerman is just not there, but I could be wrong. So I'm sure someone in the comments will correct me gleefully.
Who's James Corden?
He's
Doing
not in the
any of
movie.
this?
So,
He's not in the
no, he
movie.
wasn't. This movie's too
Peter
good for him to have that.
Peter Dinklage is
That's
Dr.
why his
Dillon.
voice sounded so. I'm like, I know
Peter
this voice.
Dinklage. It's Peter Dinklage is Dr. Dillon.
Oh, I was like,
Wasn't-
I was just hearing Tyrion.
Yeah.
Wasn't James Corden supposed to be? I swear to God, he was supposed
No,
to be.
James
That was a
Corden should have
rumor.
been kept as far away from this and any other legitimate production as possible.
He was supposed to be the Goat Man, whoever the
He
Goat Man
needs
was.
to be James Corden needs to be way
Or
away,
go back to
far
England.
away. He is in England.
Good,
Now
stay
that-
there.
Yeah, he's
That
no longer-
sounded
he's no longer
really-
American.
I was gonna say that sounded really xenophobic, but it's England, so fuck them.
I mean, they
mean-
kind of invented going where they don't belong.
He moved back to England when he
Good. When he got fired?
No, when his show ended.
Yeah, when he got fired.
He
Yeah,
got
that's
fired?
so-
I didn't know that.
They canceled his show.
Well, he left it. He says he left it, but
I prefer to think that he quit under duress.
he supposedly quit.
I
I'm gonna
didn't know
Google this
that.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's just
Oh, he's awful.
he's a dreadful human being.
Even him as Mr. Mistopheles in the Cats movie.
I
Yeah.
was gonna watch the Cats movie for an episode of the show.
Man, you
Yeah.
do like to.
Do I have to?
What do
No,
the Cats?
I'm-
Do
Do
I have to
Cats?
watch the Cats movie? Because I don't want to.
I was
No.
gonna do it for an episode of our show where
Oh.
it was
Okay.
the Rotten Tomatoes episode. We were doing movies that were 0%
Okay.
on Rotten Tomatoes.
I thought you said that do we bought an episode for this podcast, and I'm like, do I have to?
No, and the thing is, I would. This is a matter of principle because I've not watched it, but I have heard people whose opinion I care about when it comes to theater.
Yeah.
Say they watched it, and they've all said the same thing: is that whoever made this monstrosity of a movie does not understand Cats as a production.
Yeah.
No, my question about Cats is it's animated. It just
But
sort
it's
of
not.
Before
Yeah.
we get back into Wicked, I will say this one thing. Have you heard the rumor of how Andrew Lloyd Webber went to go see this movie and immediately bought himself a support dog because of this movie?
Of,
Yes, I
of,
heard that
uh,
from you.
Of
Of
that
Wicked?
movie. Yeah.
Of Cats, you mean?
Oh, you heard it from me? Yeah. Okay. I remember
Yeah.
I told you that. Yeah.
Sorry, he needed a support animal for cats
Yep.
because
Yeah.
it's so bad.
Yep.
I could see that. That movie's horrifying. No, but just my point is, why is it not like a Pixar style? Because I watched a bunch behind the scenes. Seems like it would be suited for like a Pixar DreamWorks style of animated movie, where it's like anthropomorphic cats in a cartoon sense,
my
not weird.
problem. My problem
Sorry.
with it. My problem with it is why was it CGI and why wasn't it like live action?
Yeah, just no. I mean, sorry.
So Cats is one of those productions where you almost can't make it into a movie because the whole spectacle is the fact that it's people. I'm not even going to say dressed as cats because the makeup is integral to the costume as a whole. And that's sort of the thing. Like, that's the thing. So if you do it live action, you're just imitating the stage play. And if you do it
Right.
animated, then you wouldn't animate human cats, you would animate cats, which
Yeah.
it eliminates the spectacle, because if you take the spectacle out of it, it's a really kind of a lame ass story. It's
Yeah.
essentially about a cat that wants to get touched at the end of the
Yeah.
day. I mean, that's basically it. It's the spectacle of it all.
Yeah, and the audience participates. That's why they look the way they do, is because they're trying to find a way to marry how they look in the play with making them look like real cats, and it just winds up with this uncanny valley like monstrosity of a movie that makes no one happy. And
I
to go back to Wicked, I think that's the strength of this movie, is it looks like the thing. Like
It looks
I
like
know
the
that-
thing.
It looks like the
I don't
thing.
know, like people don't seem to appreciate how much looking like the thing. Like so many people don't want it to, but me and Jordan talked about, I just off topic, but how do you guys feel about that How to Train Your Dragon live action movie?
I thought it was cute.
My only thing, and they did it, is if you're going to do that, you have to have Jerry Butler as Stoic the Vast, and they did. So I'm okay with it.
Because me and Jordan are just kind of like, it looks identical to the animated movie. What's the point?
Because they'll sell tickets. Basically, that's what it is.
Money.
That's the thing. Well, because How to Train Your Dragon is, I mean, so I came to it kind of late because I was on when How to Train Your Dragon came out. I don't remember why. I was very in my mind, because it wasn't consciously. I was very not into DreamWorks at that point because they hadn't really been putting out anything that I cared for. And then forget how by fluke, I watched it and I was like, wow, this is actually a really, really good movie. And then by the time How to Train Your Dragon 2 came out, which I did cry during, not gonna lie, because I'm okay with my emotions. I'm fine with it. By the way, I was saying before, I didn't cry during the scene with Dr. Dillamon, but I did feel the emotion. But I shed a couple tears for Defying Gravity. That was a thing that happened, and I am totally okay with it.
I didn't shed a couple tears. I flowed a river.
When I saw a clip of that, and I'm like, I haven't seen any of the rest of the movie. This means nothing to me. And like when it did that sweeping shot of her, like when she bursts out, I was like, oof, yeah, that's gonna be a moment. That's a powerful moment in the theater right there.
I did cry when I did cry when I saw it on stage, because it's just such a powerful moment.
It is a phenomenal ballad. Like it
hits you right in the feels. It does.
I cried so much during the movie, like that scene in the movie, but also but that scene in the musical. I cried so much in the musical that I had to go get water because I was dehydrated because I cried so much.
I mean,
no, I haven't really cried in a movie hardcore like since Toy Story 3. I was a fucking child during that movie.
Oh my god, yes.
Oh yeah.
When they're holding the hands.
See, that's when it got me the first time. Okay, so I'm like, that wrecked me. But then they get out, and I think I'm safe. I think I'm okay. And then they hit you with Andy dropping them off at Bonnie's house.
Goodbye, partner.
And then I was just like, not prepared, because I was bracing myself at the furnace moment, but it still hit me. I was woefully ill prepared for the final scene there, and I just lost my shit, and I'm just like, I don't know.
What was the last
thing that made me? They were willing to die together. They were willing to die together.
That killed me, man. Oh my gosh, that killed me so hard. I was like,
yeah.
Great.
I know, right?
I'm crying.
It's happening.
I cried during this episode because of Wicked. Now I'm crying because of the furnace.
Well, it's okay. We can just play Defying Gravity and go through it all over again. You know, for me, it wasn't just the number, though. It was the fact that it was like so many things were culminating at the same time, because it's a powerful number. The story's culminating. The fact that this movie exists and is just making so many people happy, it just hits you all at the same time. And apart from the tears being shed, I had chills through so many musical numbers, because
and
it
then
sounds
and then there was Toy Story 4.
I actually liked Toy Story 4, but I mean, I wasn't like I wasn't bawling my eyes out or anything. But
I got emotional at the end. But I'm easily emotionally manipulated. So
yeah, but I mean,
that's true.
But me too. But I mean, when Woody said goodbye to Bo Peep, that kind of got me.
For me, it was when Buzz said goodbye to Woody, and then but Woody goes to infinity, and then Buzz finishes and beyond, and I was like, oh, this movie's so manipulative, and it's working.
I would have just been like,
ironically. The moment that got me in Toy Story 4 was actually when what's the doll's name? The one that's trying to get Woody's voice box. What's her name?
Gabby.
Gabby.
Something.
Yeah. It's when Gabby sees the girl that's lost. That's the one that hit me.
At that point, like, I will say this: I hated Gabby. I was like, "Bitch, that's my voice box. Get your own damn self."
But see, and this is why that movie works so well, because Gabby is the antagonist.
Yeah.
But in the end, all she wanted was what all toys want. It was just the means with which she was trying to get there.
Right. Yeah. But still, the whole time, like every scene with Gabby, I was like, "Get your own Voice box your damn self.
It was
Well,
like
it worked out in the end.
Pixar. It was like it's Pixar. These characters are
Hey,
nuanced.
Pixar can play my emotions like a fiddle, and I am totally okay with it.
I will say, have you guys seen the trailer for the new movie?
Which new movie?
The newest one. Okay, we talked about it today on the show. It starts with an E. It's about a young boy who wants to be abducted by aliens. And there's a really funny joke in the trailer, which actually made me laugh, where he's trying to be abducted by aliens, and he's sitting there in all these alien garb. He's like, I'm trying to get abducted by aliens, and he's like a little boy. I thought that was
No,
funny.
I have
Like,
not seen that.
it starts with an E. I can't remember what it's actually called, but it's yeah, it
A
looks pretty
Pixar
good.
movie that gets me every time is Finding Nemo. That always gets me.
Oh, you
sorry,
want to talk
that
Pixar
always-
movies that get me? Inside
Finding
Out.
Nemo and Wall-E, they both get me.
Inside. Oh my God, Inside Out too. So I didn't. I didn't cry during that movie. Has everybody here seen Inside Out too?
I haven't
Oh,
yet.
I've seen it. Oh, it's so good.
Oh, Haley, it's so good.
gotta.
The
I haven't
panic
even seen the
attack.
first one.
Ooh.
Oh, the first
Why have
one's
you
so
not seen
good.
Inside Out?
I
But-
just
but
didn't seem
Bing
like my
bong,
thing.
Bing bong.
Oh,
Who's afraid
no.
of Joshua most? Bing bong. Oh,
No,
my God, that
Haley,
one gets
trust me.
man. That one makes
Trust
me cry
me, Haley. Both of
every
them.
time.
You will love
Okay.
both of them.
Okay.
I can see why you thought that, because I was dragged to see the first one. I'm like, this is dumb. Like, I wasn't kicking and screaming because I'm a Lewis Black fan. I'm like, I get to watch Lewis Black yell, so I'll have a good time. Haley, when I tell you this thing does things to your emotions that
Oh my God,
you're not ready for. You're just
I
not
got-
ready for it.
I got emotional in the
Alright.
second one. I didn't cry. I did cry in the second one, but that's because I cried laughing. I think I talked about it. We did a review I talked about, but I can't remember what the scene is right off the top of my head. But there's a recurring gag with anger and a particular character in the second one that me and Jordan we were cry laughing. We were laughing
Pretty funny. It's
so
pretty funny.
hard.
Okay,
It was
fine.
pretty funny. It's pretty good. They're good. I think I've seen people say they're like a modern Toy Story. Like they're this generation's Toy Story. And I
Yeah.
so agree with that.
I
You
can say,
two are
but
beginning to be the problems again.
well, no, I'm just
Wicked.
gonna leave with this because we're talking about emotional scenes.
Yeah.
The panic attack scene, Justin.
Yeah.
Oh, so good.
Holy shit! I'm in the theater watching that. I'm like, this is
This is
fucking
this is it.
cinema. This is cinema. It's very similar to the Defying Gravity moment, actually, in terms of what it does to your emotions, because you're not physically experiencing it, but because of what you're watching, you are kind of going through the emotional steps. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Fine, I
Well,
will
mean,
watch. I will watch both movies. I will get Disney Plus again. And I will watch both movies.
they're both pretty good.
If
So
you come on the podcast again, and so we can discuss it.
Oh,
I'll do that.
oh God,
I'll do that. Yeah.
we will absolutely be the problem on that one, but we will be talking about Inside Out the whole time.
I mean, there's a new show
Yeah.
coming out. We can make it SEO friendly.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's true. That's true. Which, speaking of which, Haley, not to are you free to come on a podcast tomorrow by chance?
What time?
I'm open, so anytime after 5, after 6, I'm wide open.
Yeah, I'm open.
Hey,
Okay,
since I got
well-
since I got both of you here, I should double check. But me and Jordan have our 1 year anniversary coming up, and if y'all are, I'm pretty sure it's December 8th, Sunday, December 8th. So if y'all are available, we're going to be talking about shit we've already talked about.
Cool. I'll just bring Noah back up and rip that one
Ye-
another new asshole.
Yeah, we're gonna. The thing is, Jordan's gonna talk about stuff I talked about. I'm gonna talk about stuff he talked about. And it's just gonna
Yeah,
be a celebration of a year of doing the show.
I
Holy
forgot
old switcheroo.
what I talked about on your show.
Yeah.
I've
It
been
was
on your
me.
show so many times that I forgot what I talked about.
We did musicals. We did DreamWorks and animation.
Oh yeah, I was the one who screwed that up. I was supposed to talk about Don Bluth, but anyway, Haley, are you a fan of Moana? Yes, no.
No.
She's giving you a look like, oh no.
Oh, okay, so we'll agree on this one. So what I want to do to be SEO friendly is I basically want to, not because I don't hate Moana, but I feel like it's overly loved and I want to take it down a peg before Moana 2 comes out.
I mean,
Moana
Moana 2
2
looks
is
bad.
out.
So
Oh, is it out already? I thought it came out the 26th.
I saw a commercial for it when they do the commercials before the movie starts, and it looks bad. It looks bad.
Have
Oh,
you
it
guys
does.
seen
It
the
does.
Have you guys seen the set photos of The Rock doing the live action one in the muscle suit?
No.
Do yourself a favor, look it up. It's amazing. It looks terrible. It looks
Oh.
amazing in the sense that it looks terrible and it looks really fun, really really funny, but it looks terrible.
This
Like
movie tries too hard, I swear.
It
It's
does. Well, no, The Rock is trying too hard, but we'll talk about that tomorrow night, Haley, if you're available.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
I need a guest co-host to record an early episode. So
for Toon Talk.
no, for Average Intelligence, because I'm going to be
Oh,
traveling. I'm going to be traveling on Wednesday, so we can't do it live. So
fair enough.
and Eric can't do it on Monday, so
Also
and I have an
fair
interview on Tuesday, so yeah, because apparently this stupid MFer doesn't know when to say no.
enough. Hey, I get that.
It's one thing I love about you.
It's why I'm here talking Wicked. Wicked.
Well, the thing I'm going to be most pissed off about when I die is that I can't work anymore. That's going to be a thing. Anyway, Wicked.
Wicked.
It was. I mean, it was wicked good. I mean, it was a wicked good movie. Yeah.
Wicked good, yeah.
It was wicked good. Yeah.
Stop
it was wicked good, yeah.
Stop it.
What part was the most wicked for you?
I'm impressed that this movie exists. I'm impressed that it's being so successful, and I'm happy what it means for musicals and movies, because I just felt like the music, because I come from a place of growing up with like classic Mary Poppins, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, from the era when musicals used to win Oscars, and I just feel like the Western, the movie musical has lost respect, and I think this shows that there's an audience for them, and that we can advertise musicals as musicals again. We don't need to pretend that they're not musicals anymore.
Make musicals musical again.
Yes, absolutely. Make musicals musical again.
So
let Jesse Eisenberg do his real quick musical theater related aside. You guys probably don't know this. Jesse Eisenberg's going to make a musical? I'll bring it up because it's so random. He's making a musical about community theater. He's directing and writing it.
That sounds like something Lin-Manuel Miranda would do, and I am not here for it.
Right? I'm just like, Jordan, like, Jesse Eisenberg? And I went, yeah. He's like, can he sing? And I'm like, I have no clue.
That makes no sense. That makes no sense.
It's just a random bit of musical theater. But more musicals.
See, he's going to Lin-Manuel it because he's just going to get up there and talk really fast in a way that's so somewhat rhythmic. And like my head's going crazy and I can't really sing, so I'm going to talk really fast and rhythmic.
More musicals. That's my ultimate thesis of today's episode. Not less musicals, more musicals.
So what do we think the breakout song is going to be for part 2? Oh, that's a dumb question. It's totally going to be for good.
Yeah, it's probably good. Oh, is that an Act 2 song?
Yeah, that's the closing number.
Oh, no, it's the closing number. Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Trying to get my lights on. I feel like I think if they're going chronologically ordered, it's gonna be Thank Goodness. Yeah.
Do you guys think they'll include more stuff
as the breakout number though?
Yeah, that's the breakout number. That's when.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I don't mean. Yeah, I'm sorry. We're getting two different breakouts. No, I mean like as far as
popularity.
That's not the right word. The number that the most people are gonna love. So I guess popularity. You're right, Haley. That would be the breakout number because that's the number that the Act 2 starts on. But yeah. I'm talking about like popular.
Is there an original song in this so they can get that original song nomination for the Oscars?
There is not.
I was gonna say I didn't think so. No, they followed the book pretty well.
Yeah.
Interesting, because the one of these always has a new song so they can go for best original song. Like Les Mis has that song about how Hugh Jackman wants to be a dad.
Just as somebody who's seen Les Mis, your characterization it's great.
That's what that song's about.
I know. That's why it's funny.
But yeah, these always have an original. That surprises me because that's how they get the Oscar. They always have an original song.
Well, West Side Story didn't have an original.
Did it not?
No,
I don't think so.
no, it didn't.
That surprises
It went
me.
right through the musical.
Yeah,
Like,
they
that's why,
changed some
like,
things up, but they didn't create any new numbers.
No,
oh, interesting. Because yeah, that's why like
and neither will
Aladdin has
this.
Speechless because so it
Um,
can get nominated for an Oscar.
100%, and I'm
Yeah.
100% sure neither will this.
I don't know where you could add another number. I mean, it's
Yeah.
it's pretty stacked with songs. I mean, it
Do-
flows
I don't
musically
think.
pretty consistently.
I think the reason why it's like longer is because it's because they're adding detail. They're not adding
Yeah,
songs.
yeah.
They're adding
So
detail.
there's more like dialogue scenes as opposed to
Yeah,
musical numbers.
yeah,
Did
yeah.
Did they take out something bad, or is that did they convert that
Nope.
more into an inter? No, they made that more of like a little interlude instead of like a full number.
Yeah.
What's the song to, because isn't there a certain ratio of like you should have a certain amount of like song to dialogue ratio per musical?
Yeah. I think
So
so.
Unless it's a rock opera, then you just sing
Which,
everything.
by the way,
Yeah.
I really hope that as much as I love that musical, I really hope they don't do School Rock.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that'd be good.
Okay, I thought you were gonna say something. Don't ask me why I thought, because I thought you were about to say "As Long as You're Mine," and I'm like, they have to do that song.
No, they have to do that song. They're gonna do that song. I know that
They
they are.
better do that song.
Oh wait, there's a song called School of Rock, you mean? Or are you talking School of Rock the musical?
No, there's a musical.
Oh, but the musical's good.
Before the Jack Black movie.
Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen parts of it. That musical's good. It's Andrew Lloyd Webber. It's actually quite good.
Eh.
If you've seen the Beetlejuice musical, it's Alex Brightman. He plays the Jack Black role.
Wait, I just contradicted myself. Yeah, they already did that. Damn it.
Yeah, they did do that. It's quite good. I know that Robert Zemeckis wants to do a movie version of the Back to the Future musical, and to that I say, do it.
Do it.
Here's
Do
the
it.
thing. I just don't want any more like rock kind of like musicals.
Oh, see, I'm a rock guy. I want way more rock musicals. There can never be enough rock musicals. I don't like traditional Hammerstein musicals. I find them boring. I think that's maybe why I didn't like the producers. That was very
they already
traditional.
did that. So they did that with Brandy's Cinderella. So they can't do that.
True.
They can't do it again. But Wicked.
Is there anything you didn't like in the movie?
In the movie? No.
I was gonna say she's thinking. Nope, it was fine. I did like the effigy. I thought that was a nice touch that Glinda. I thought that was really good.
Yeah.
That was really good. I just hope there's no tiger sex in part 2.
Please,
I don't think
no.
I don't think there will be, because it wasn't in the stage play. They did take some elements of the book, but it was more like they didn't take anything that I can recall. They didn't take anything that was strictly from the book that wasn't in the musical, but they used certain aspects and extended them, basically. It's like there's an extended sequence of Dr. Dillamon meeting with other animals and talking about what's going on, as opposed to the stage play where it all happens in the classroom in a private conversation between Dillamon and Elphaba.
Which I kind of liked better.
I do. There's constraints of a stage play that this movie did not have, and they fully exploited it. For example, the number you liked, Haley, The Wizard and I, on the stage play, it's not a bad number, but it's simple. She's not moving around a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
As opposed to the movie where she's going across campus and they're doing things, making it a little bit funnier, more powerful, that kind of stuff.
See, that to me is using the medium of film to make the music to add to the stage musical. Like, we keep talking about Dear Evan Hansen, but like the best example of this in terms of like comparing Dear Evan Hansen to Wicked, Defying Gravity, because it's the one scene from this movie I've seen. It's very dynamic. She's flying around. It's stuff that you just can't do on stage, right? Dear Evan Hansen, one of the big. Have you seen Dear Evan Hansen, Jake? No, okay. One of the big numbers, one of the big plot point of it is he's telling this fictional story, and there's a number where he sings this story to this family, and in the stage play, it's staged where they're in the kitchen and he's singing to this family, and it's very much a solo number.
Words Fail? You talking about Words
No,
Fail?
Words Fail is another example of this, but I'm talking about For Forever. And in the movie, it just kind of turns into he's just kind of awkwardly standing there singing at him, like singing at them. It doesn't really do anything. It doesn't change anything with the staging. It doesn't really add anything to make it interesting. And Wicked sounds like it does, and that as a person who hasn't seen it, that intrigues me because I'm like, oh yeah, they're doing something with the medium of film, and
They absolutely are.
I ushered
That's cool.
for Dear Evan Hansen like two weeks ago, so I saw.
I know I was jealous.
I saw the musical for the first time.
Oh, for the first time? You had never
Yep.
seen it? I love that
seen it.
musical.
I
still love that musical.
I
It's
cried.
really
I
good.
loved it.
Yeah, I cried at the end of that musical. Wait, yeah. I fully recommend the musical. Do not recommend the movie. You can still find there's a good bootleg with the original cast with Ben Platt. That's way better than the movie.
So again, Wicked.
Wicked, yeah. Yeah, I'm excited to watch it. You guys have made me excited to watch it.
Oh no, you'll enjoy it. You'll enjoy it. It's a good movie going experience, and you will enjoy it. I'd say the only thing you have to have seen is The Wizard of Oz.
Good to know.
That's pretty much it.
Is it better than Oz the Great and Powerful?
Fuck it, dude. Watching paint dry is better than Oz the Great and Powerful.
Who makes this?
Universal.
Universal. So I wonder where that's going to go.
And John M. Chu.
Well, I meant distributor. Is it going to Disney Plus or
Universal? Universal.
Where do you think it's going when it hits digital? I think?
Who knows? It's whoever with Universal. It's whoever they license it to, right?
Interesting. So it's not like it's going to specifically HBO Max or Disney.
I would imagine it'll end up on HBO Max because it'll be on HBO Max or Netflix. Probably HBO Max. I'm fingers crossed for Netflix. I like it for it to go to Netflix. I mean, Netflix is spending a lot of money, so I wouldn't be surprised. Like people will be fighting for the streaming license for this.
Oh, for sure.
So they're going to make a mint.
Do you guys think because like the game now is a lot of companies are realizing if you leave this in theaters for a while, letting it build, do you think they're going to let it sit in theaters and build?
Yes, they absolutely should. And that's what I'm saying. So Fathom Events needs to get a hold of this, and I'm kind of surprised they haven't already, talking about how, you have like the professionally shot stage play. Yeah. I'm shocked Fathom Events isn't screening that.
I can't believe. Here's my question. How are you guys feeling about singing in the theater?
I'm for it. I'm the problem.
It depends on who's singing.
I'm the problem. I don't give a shit. I sing.
My thing is like I understand why people don't like it, and I fully understand why people do it. My compromise is why not have special sing-along screenings?
They do.
You can show.
They are. They are. On Christmas, December 25th.
That's awesome.
December 25th. It was announced like a couple weeks ago.
If I'm going there to my thing is I always say this, but there's a difference between doing a thing for like watching a movie for this and watching a movie for fun. And if I'm watching a movie for this, I don't want some 16-year-old girl singing behind me. But like if I'm going there for fun, I want to be able to sing. So like I understand both sides.
Yeah, fair enough. I just don't want to be in the theater with somebody who's just gone through a breakup who starts literally shrieking, defying gravity.
Stop it. Oh my God, stop it.
Look to the western sky.
It's only
oh my God, shut up. Oh my God.
I'm gonna put flying somewhere and they stop flying free. Yeah.
Oh my God, shut up. Oh my God.
I love that song.
Tell me it hasn't happened. Tell me it hasn't happened somewhere.
I'm sure some theater at like 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
I sure didn't do that. What?
See, that's why I'm going to watch it at home, like God intended, where I can sing to my heart's content.
Oh, it was funny though. I heard somebody, I don't know who said it, but in the scene where Glinda convinces Bach to ask out Nessa, somebody in my theater just went, "Bitch."
That's funny.
God.
See, man, that's why
I was like,
why do you still want to go to the theaters? I'm like, that's why, man. Moments like that.
See, I love going to the theater because I'll tell you what, there's going to be a lot of people that wait for this to come to streaming, and that's a mistake. This is a movie. This is a movie that needs to be seen in a theater, and there's a lot of movies like that. Like I said the same thing about.
I'm upset that I didn't see it in IMAX because I
Which
mean it
one
was
would've been good on
good.
IMAX?
It was good,
Oh.
but I'm gonna go back and see it in IMAX.
Do you have an AMC near you, Haley?
We do not. We
Um,
ours closed.
Because I was going to suggest if you have hot take, but anyone who's actually done this will agree with me. I'm not huge on IMAX. I'm really big on Dolby, AMC Dolby.
We have an
It's
equivalent to that. It's called Ultra AVX.
Yeah, it's better. It's a better
Yeah.
experience. I don't give a shit about the screen size. It's big enough. I care
Yeah.
about the moving sound, the high color contrast, and just it's better. I saw 1917. It was my first movie that I saw in Dolby, and I just happened to incidentally, because it was only available in Dolby. So I was like, what's Dolby? They're like, it's 5D sound. And I'm like, oh, okay, I don't care. Because I hate 3D movies. So the only thing I cared about was, is this in 3D? And they said no. So I'm like, fine, whatever. And there's a scene where the main character is getting shot at, but it's coming from behind him. The sound came from behind me, and I went like, "The fuck!"
That's
And then
awesome.
I realized I was like, "Oh, I like Dolby. I like Dolby."
That's-
The only thing is, if you're in a Dolby cinema, don't sit in the back row. Because Eric and I went and watched Venom 2, and we were too close to the speaker, so the whole movie we're just like,
That's
we're
funny.
like,
Oh
this
my
is not a good
God.
spot.
Venom 2, let there be red Venom.
Basically, here's a red one.
Oh,
There's a
yeah.
red one.
Getting back
So
to Wicked.
Wicked.
This would be
Wicked.
good. Wicked would be good in that though, because you'd get the full.
Wicked would be amazing in Dolby.
Yeah.
Oh,
Because you get the full surround sound with the. In musicals where you want good quality sound for sure.
yeah. I'm glad I was
with
wrong.
you. I'm big about. Yeah. It's always nice to be wrong about a movie. I'd much rather think a movie is bad, like let it looks bad and be pleasantly. But also, like I'm the kind of guy where I don't mind bad movies. Like even if it was bad, I would go hate watch it with Jordan and we'd laugh. We've done that a few times.
Yeah, I'm gleefully eating my crow tonight, and I will eat it again because I'm glad I was wrong.
For your consideration campaigns, for the lot of them.
Jake, Justin,
What?
heal. Jake, Justin, heal.
Okay.
I said for your consideration campaigns, for the lot.
Heal.
So Wicked.
It's a Wicked. The whole time,
So
I'm trying to think.
the whole time I'm thinking, I'm like, God, I wish that these instead of animals, is turning into animals or something.
I mean, that's the one thing the book has on the stage play and the movie is the fact that they can differentiate it in print, so for those who
Yeah.
don't know, in the book, when they're talking about animals in general or a specific animal, if it's the like anthropomorphized humanoid version, it's a capital. So it's animal or a bear instead of an animal or a bear.
Oh yeah, it's hard to convey on screen. Yeah.
Yes and no. It's hard to convey the difference in terms of people talking, but they kind of make it seem like that all animals are intelligent in Oz in the movie, though. So I guess that's a thing you can do.
I mean, yeah, because you could do CGI anthropomorphic animals a heck of a lot easier.
I'm also glad they resisted the temptation, which I get why you have to do this on Broadway because limitations, but to not have the animals like on two legs just looking like it didn't look like a goat man. It looked like a goat. Dr. Dillerman.
Oh. That bothered me, but also didn't bother me at the same time. I can't explain it. I don't know why.
Well, you're expecting, because you've seen the stage show, you're expecting a goat man,
satyr?
but instead you
Yeah.
just get a goat, and you're like, oh,
Yeah.
and then it sounds like Tyrion Lannister, and you're like, oh,
So I my description of his character. See, I would have pictured if you've seen Chronicles of Mr. Tumnus.
yeah.
That's
But
what I was picturing in my head.
That's a satyr though.
Yeah, well, you guys were like goat man. That's what I always heard that character described as a goat man. I pictured a satyr in my head.
I still just see James McAvoy, but
Mr.
But
Tumnus.
I wanted to point out though, that I also got some stuff. I spent $84.95, by the way.
on your Ulta haul.
No, on this movie haul. popcorn, drinks, and then I got a popcorn bucket. It has like the movie poster wrapped around it, and then I got
What is that? I can't tell what that is.
it's a stand. It's like not a Stanley, but a cup straw.
Yeah.
Cup.
Well, what like is it? Can't tell what the design is.
Oh, it's all of alphabet, or not alphabets.
It's Glinda's bags.
It's all Glinda's bags.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
See, you got that much more than I did. I was like, it's pink.
It's pink.
Well, that's Glinda.
And then it has like a G all over too.
See, I personally think she was telling me about the other one, the black one. I think the black one sounds cooler. That's just me though.
Yeah, but
because it's black and green.
It's black. It's all black, and then you know how there's like plaid, like the plaid design. So the plaid design is like the broom and and Glinda's wand in an X. So there's like little tiny ones of those, and then in between those is a W for Wicked.
See, that sounds more aesthetically pleasing to me, but I like black. I'm a fan of black.
Because you're depressed and life is pain.
Yeah, sure.
But yeah, so I spent like $84.95 because of.
And she said the bucket was $60. I just don't believe that how is that possible?
But you still have to pay for the popcorn because that'd be some bullshit.
I did.
They could give you the popcorn.
I'm just $60 seems like too much money. So most of your spending went to the bucket. It sounds like
I get I get like 2 free refills or something like that. I get free refills on that bucket.
How much popcorn are you eating?
So the fun thing is what we're gonna do is we're gonna take it, and every time we go see a movie, we're gonna take it with us, and then we're gonna get free refills, and that'll pay for it.
That then makes sense. Yes, that is the thing you should do with the commemorative bucket.
That'll pay for it.
It absolutely will.
I will absolutely pay for it.
So when do we think we're going to get the punk version of Defying Gravity? Because I think it's coming, and I'm not looking forward to it.
I don't want it. Please don't.
It already exists.
Does it really?
What?
Oh yeah.
No,
it's been done a bunch. Yeah, the one of the Alphabet. Yeah, she the British one, the one who did the West End. She did a punk version of it. I quite like it.
I can take that. I just don't want the emo kid with the bangs covering his eyes just being like, because now I'm defying gravity.
I'm sorry, why are you being offensive? But okay.
Why am I being offensive? It's a thing. It's the same kid who's like, because tonight will be the night that I will fall for you.
It's not the long version though, because there's the 2 versions of that song. There's the version that cuts out all the dialogue.
They take out the dialogue.
Yeah, that kid didn't do anything to you, Jake.
No, that kid has given me. I will fall for you. No, that kid has provided numerous laughs and a hilarious Captain Kirk edit for me. So thank you, whoever you are.
That kid. I was that kid.
Hey, you went through an emo phase?
I mean, I was.
Tell me you have photos.
No, not dress, but I was big into Evanescence. I like super big into
Evanescence. Isn't emo. Evanescence is new metal. That's not the same thing.
I mean, they're doing the Hot Topic, the eyeshadow.
Hot Topic isn't that's off. That's not the same thing. However, fun fact, I did this as a joke, but it turns out the playlist actually exists. If you have a Google Home or whatever, the thing where you can be like, hey Google, we have one at my office, and we were having fun with it, and somebody's like, wow, they got every kind of playlist, and I was just like, I wonder, and I said, hey Google, play songs to slit your wrists to, and it loaded a playlist.
Oh no!
And it's exactly what you think it was. And I was like, that's hilarious and disturbing all at the same time.
Oh, ew.
I didn't make it. It exists.
I know, but it's still ew.
The internet's
I
got a fucked up
agree.
sense of humor, man.
I agree. I was kind of like, ooh, I was just
Ew.
kidding.
Oh my god.
I was just joking.
I was just joking.
Google.
Like, are you okay?
Google's
Google,
been
get help.
Google's been through Google's been through some shit.
So actually, so Wicked.
So
The
Wicked.
other thing the movie does that the stage play can't is you get close-ups of people's faces, and everyone's facials in this movie were flawless. They
Yes.
conveyed so much emotion, which again, Justin, like you said, it's something that only film can do.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And like, it's why I find 60s musicals so boring, because they
Yeah,
just
because they're
nine
so
times out of
far
10
away.
they're just doing the stage musical. They're like, what do we do for this? Just do the stage musical. It's the same staging, the same choreography, because it was the 1950s and 60s. They didn't know what to do. They didn't have the technology. Now you can. Now you can fully realize what you pictured in your head when you thought this up.
The hell they can't. We've seen many a close-up of sweaty William Shatner. They absolutely had the technology.
But
There's
he
one.
is a very moist man.
There's
Boom! I managed to fit one in.
There's one close up I wanted to talk about though of Wicked that it lives in my head rent free. The one where they're singing Defying Gravity and it's Ariana and Cynthia. Their parts that were together.
Mm-hmm.
And it, like,
okay, yep.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, was it the big like panorama shot?
Yeah, it's the big pan. That one chills.
Yeah, see, can't do that on stage. You can't do that shit on stage.
Nope.
The movie musical should always be bigger in scope than they should never be the same. Like,
And it's like
I don't know.
And it was like the light like hit them in the face, and you could like see
Good shit.
Yeah.
Good
The only
shit.
thing was they were which is weird because some moments the two actresses obviously had chemistry, but then there were some scenes. I'm wondering if it took them a while in the shooting schedule to kind of get there because some scenes it seems like they have zero chemistry at all, and then in others it seems like they're legit best friends.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, probably had to spend some time figuring out that relationship.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
and the thing is, it alternates. Which then they didn't shoot it in order, so that makes sense. But yeah.
You know what my favorite like line of Ariana's was like when they're trying to escape the guards and like they like jump into the balloon that they go up in, and like one of the guards grabs her leg, Ariana's legs, and she's like, let go of my leg, let go of my leg.
So editor Jake would have changed one thing. I think they hung on to that bit just a smidge too long. I think she only had to say it once and then kick him away because to me it seemed like they held on that for a little too long.
Did she kick him away or did he let go?
She did, but she said, "Give me my leg back" twice, and I would have just
give me my leg back. Give me my leg back. I'm like,
the delivery was great, but she did it twice, and that's the only thing I would have changed. So Wicked.
So I was gonna say too though, like
5 out of 5, 5 stars.
That scene, that whole entire scene though, like no shade to Elphaba, but you would have known that like that balloon was not gonna make it out of the thing. The thing was closing.
And okay, so again, this is one of those things where it's not so much a criticism, it's just me talking about my opinion because I totally understand why they did it, but I would have left the balloon out. To me, it was too many moving parts, and but again, I get why they did it. It's not something I would have done.
Fair.
But I also don't. I'm not a director in Hollywood, so fuck my opinion, right?
Yeah, there's a reason why I'm doing this and they're doing that. So what do I know?
I mean, fair enough. It's like every time my hatred of Robert Pattinson comes up, I always say the same thing. I'm like, why do you care? He doesn't know I exist.
A couple more things though too is like there was a line in the beginning of like the first scene or no, like the nearish end of the first scene where like she's about to leave and she was and she was like okay, thank you. If no further questions, I'm gonna go. And then she gets into her bubble, and the one little kid goes, "Wait, was it true that you two were friends?" And she was like, "What? I can't hear you." And then she pops the bubble. And she's like, "Oh, just wait a minute!" And pops the bubble.
Wait a minute.
She's
Just
like,
wait a minute. Yeah, I did like that.
and then
Yep.
she's
That
like,
was fun. That was fun.
So today's episode is sponsored by the Spur of the Moment Podcast, everybody. Come join us every Saturday, and we're going to do this. We're going to sit here. We're going to talk about the news. Time to talk about the Minecraft.
Okay.
It looks bad. So we're going to talk about movies. That new Joker movie is apparently terrible, and I want to see it so badly because I hear it's awful. And we're going to make some jokes. We're going to have some laughs.
There's a lot of funny jokes in there. There's a lot of weird jokes in there. The Channing Tatum one will always make me laugh, especially when you hear the behind the scenes stuff, like when you hear the behind the scenes story of how they just phoned them up.
We're occasionally going to have other people along for the ride.
A really fun fact, though, is I learned last year that that Coraline was and not Disney.
Oh, interesting. I mean, I can see why you would make that mistake. Yeah. Because it does seem like it's a different. And to be fair,
That would be a horrifying, terrible Disney movie.
It would be because yeah. And we're just gonna have a generally good time. George, do you have anything else you want to say about our podcast? Make people watch it.
We watch movies. Sometimes we watch shows, but we always have fun.
Here
on the spur. Three, 2, 1. On the spur of the podcast moment.
Yeah, we nailed it. Nailed it.
Podcast.
Yeah. It's Spur of the Moment Podcast every Saturday. We nailed it.
You can expect awesome content like that.
We cut flawless promos every single week.
The Wicked.
The Wicked.
The Wicked. And
hey, it's better than The Wiz.
Hey.
Oh, we forgot about The Wiz.
I hate
That's
The
the thing
Wiz.
that
That's
happened.
pretty good.
No, I didn't like The Wiz.
I will.
As much as I love James Earl Jones, and Justin can protest to that because we did an episode on that after he died.
Was he in that? Was he in The Wiz?
But he was in The Wiz.
He was in The Wiz.
I believe he was in The Wiz.
That's the one. Oh, am I thinking of the same one? That's the one with Michael Jackson, right? Where he plays the Scarecrow.
Either he was in The Wiz or he was.
Yeah, Michael Jackson. He plays the Scarecrow in The Wiz, doesn't he? The movie version.
I think so.
Yeah,
But he was in the musical James Earl Jones, I believe.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean the stage musical?
Yeah, the stage musical.
Oh, okay. I was like, they're in the movie together. What?
No.
I've never actually seen it. I just know that Michael Jackson is in it. It's like one of the few things that I went through a spree where I watched a bunch of his short films, some of which were good.
If I only had a.
Yeah.
Come
Or
on.
when we talked about Captain EO, I quite like Captain EO. Yeah, he did a really good one where he plays like a weird town pariah who turns into a ghost at the end. It's actually pretty good.
The Wicked.
There was a whole
So
bunch
Wicked.
of points that I wanted to make that I'm probably not gonna be able to make.
No, please go for it. Go for it. We will only respond.
Yeah.
But what if it gets too long? Well, if it gets too long, sorry. Shut up, you asshole. So can I cover your mouth? So there was one other point I wanted to make about Ariana and Elphaba. Like, I don't agree with you about the chemistry. I feel like the chemistry was always there.
I'm not trying to like argue with you or defend what I was saying. It's just, I guess That's just different levels of perception. And I will be, to be fair to the movie, at the very early part, I was looking for things to nitpick. So, but very quickly, I just became like enthralled in the movie, and I was like, no, I became not the problem very quickly in the movie because I was like, oh, okay, no, I'm being an ass. I need to give this movie a fair chance. And then
sometimes when you're watching a movie, you have to be like, it's not that kind of movie. Like that's what I find anyway.
The thing is, it was that kind of movie. It was just really, really good. Like
sometimes the thing just is so good, you're willing to look past the flaws.
That's what I'm saying, though. There weren't really that many flaws, and the flaws that it did have were not necessarily flaws. They were just different choices that maybe I wouldn't have made or been my preference, but I wouldn't go so far as to say they were bad. Because like nothing in that movie is bad. Nothing was a glaring mistake.
I didn't hate the part. I didn't hate. I mean, I loved it, but like I also didn't like. I was confused by like the part where like she like her sister Nessa Rose, she's being taken away, and like in Alphabet like screams no and like uses her powers. I didn't particularly love the whole chairs flying too and everything.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think personally for me, that would fall under a category of again where I wouldn't have done it, and also the bit where Madame Morrible takes credit for it.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of like, I don't get the why. And there's a couple of other scenes where Elphaba shows her powers, but we've already established that she has powers. So it's just kind of like, it feels like time filler. But it's not so glaringly bad that it sticks out because it is furthering the plot. It's just stuff that isn't really like those scenes are scenes where if they were taken out of the movie, they wouldn't take away from the story at large, but they do add some extra weight, I guess.
I don't think that Madame Marble takes credit in the
not that I recall. It's pretty clear. And the other thing, so correct me if I'm wrong, in the stage play, Elphaba is attending university with Nessa Rose. In the movie, they make it, well, they don't make it seem like, they flat out state that she's not supposed to stay, but then because she has magic, Madame Morrible's like, oh, you must stay.
I did want to bring up to one point, and I don't know if you kind of realized the theme that is like there was like an ongoing theme when it came to like really the whole movie, and but especially the scene where like she is like where Elphaba grabs the grimoire and then runs off, and then Madame Morrible is spreading these lies.
Mm-hmm.
Would you say that it kind of hits home a little bit with current events?
I mean, that's always been the case because even when Wicked came out, that's part of the reason why it's such a good story is because the themes are universal. There are more periods in time where there might be a little bit more in the cultural zeitgeist, but I think that right now, yeah, I can see that. Definitely today. But the weird thing is, or the concerning thing is, I should say, is both sides can view it that way. And that's what's really scary to me. Because both sides constantly claim that the other side is spreading lies. And it's like, well, maybe you're all pieces of shit.
Yeah, you consider you're all lying.
Elphaba is not.
I'm not talking about Elphaba. I'm talking about the Democrats and the Republicans.
Oh, okay. Well,
it's like maybe you're all assholes.
Yeah, maybe you all suck.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Well, but Elphaba's got problems too, though, and that's the thing that this movie does and the stage play does too. Is Elphaba's never presented as a perfect person. She's got plenty of flaws, you know, but you can understand how she got there. But see, and the thing I like about the second half of the play and what I presume will be happening in the second half of the movie is Elphaba just makes so many bad choices where it's like, you don't have to do this.
So the second part, do you guys think, or because doesn't it at a certain point just kind of become Wizard of Oz? So is the movie gonna like complete with Dorothy? So, like, is it just going to kind of devolve to just being Wizard of Oz, do you think?
There's a question on whether they're going to cut out the Dorothy theme that's in the musical or not.
I hope not, because I think it's sort of the point of all this. But short answer to your question, Justin, is sort of yes, because it doesn't. It concludes with Dorothy melting the Wicked Witch. That's basically the immediate aftermath, which is also where we start. So the whole story is a flashback of sorts.
Oh, so the movie does start with her having just been killed.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Actually,
the
opening shot is the hat in a puddle of water. So yeah, that is.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Then it goes out. It pans out outside of the window, and then in the corner you see Dorothy.
Oh, so they have a Dorothy.
And everybody going back to Oz to deliver the broom.
Interesting. So they don't have to. So it's not like you guys are waiting to find out who's going to be cast as Dorothy in part 2, or is she not a major character?
She's not a major character, no. In fact, in the stage play, I don't even think you see it happen in the stage play.
You don't see it happening at all. It's like behind the curtain. It's behind the curtain. You see a silhouette of it all
that's
happening.
Right.
But that's it.
Yep. That's
Do you think you'll
now
see
I
it
remember.
in the movie?
I hope so, because again,
that how they've expanded this first part.
I think they'll do it just like the play though. I feel like.
Now the real question is going to be if they do show Dorothy, are they going to do a really cheap? Actually, it's not cheap anymore. It actually looks pretty good now. The AI Judy Garland.
God, I hope not.
Yeah, I hope not too. I don't think it's necessary.
Touch that.
And plus, as somebody who's really, really defensive about Judy Garland just as a person, it's like if you do that, kind of fuck you, you know?
Yeah, I don't love bringing people back from the dead using.
I'm fine with it if they give their permission, because like William Shatner, I guess, recently did a short film that was released that was basically like Kirk's death in his own mind, but they did it with his permission, and he was part of the production.
I love it even then, but
that is my biggest fear, though. Like that's why AI needs to be stopped, because AI can do damage.
I always say to Jordan, you're not allowed to do the podcast with an AI recreation of me. You do not have my permission. To which he responds with, "That means I explicitly have your permission, then, right?" And I'm like, "No,
that means fuck
you don't." But like the worst one is Egon in that Ghostbusters movie, not the last one, but the one before.
Yeah.
Gives you the now gross.
Well, my whole thing with that is I'm not necessarily anti the technology, because I think it can be used for good, as it were. The thing is, you have to be very, very careful, and you have to be sensitive. You have to be conscious of how you're using it. For example, I think the technology was flawed at the time, but the Carrie Fisher bit at the end of Rogue One, I felt was appropriate, and they had permission from her family.
Alive.
Oh yeah, that's right. She was alive. Yeah,
she was alive. Yeah,
she gave her blessing. Now apparently, though, because they used the same effect for Grand Moff Tarkin, apparently his family was pissed. So
they were pretty pissed about it.
Yeah. I think if they can make it look good and they have the blessing of at least the family, then I'm okay with it. But I think that you'll be appropriately lampooned if you abuse it.
Yeah. I don't love it, but like for example, in the newest Alien movie, they brought back a character from the original Alien, and his family was very happy with it. They apparently cried, and I didn't love it. I thought it was weird and creepy. But I'm like, but who am I to take that away from the family? And I would say the same thing about Dorothy. I would say
I don't know that they.
With it.
But here's
the thing is, I don't know if they have. Does she have any family that's
I don't
there?
Know. I honestly don't know.
But the thing is, though, is like there's no stopping it. There's no way to stop it. You could, even without you knowing, you could potentially be turned into AI without anyone knowing.
Well, that's why they need to clarify the legality of rightness. They need to clarify the legality of likeness rights when it comes to AI generated content, which to me, I'm not a lawyer, but it seems like a pretty simple solution. I would think that would fall under the same jurisdiction as, say, like the Crispin Glover lawsuit from Back to the Future Part 2. It's still his likeness.
Yeah.
He
won that too.
Yeah, he did win that. So I just kind of now I think the loophole the studios are using is that they're saying that since they own your likeness in this particular movie, which I don't see how they could win that case, because that's the grounds in which Crispin Glover won on. They were basically saying it's like, well, we own the character. It's like, yeah, but you don't own the dude's face.
Yeah, I don't. For me, it's different when they're alive. Like Judy Garland. Oh my god, I remember the name now. Judy Garland can't give consent to that.
And I think the legal standard should be, if someone can't give consent, then you don't get to do it.
Yeah, I think the idea of someone bringing me back to life.
Well, see, okay, here's the thing, though. I kind of I liked the idea, though, if I played an iconic character, that they would be able to utilize that for future fans, but it comes down to, are they going to fuck it up or not?
I guess it being a character for me is different than it being an act. Like, they used the technology to have James Dean play a character in a movie recently. That's fucked up. I'm not into that. But like, to use it to bring back, no, the Grand Moff Tarkin thing was bad, but I can't think of a better example. I guess maybe Kane, or like a Jason Voorhees or something, like an iconic version of the character, or something like, or Freddy Krueger, to keep Freddy Krueger around. Okay, maybe it's different there. I don't know. Judy Garland in particular, that I don't know if I'd be okay if I went to Wicked Part 2 and there's Judy Garland.
Well, and that's just got a whole nother, apart from just the general apprehension of using AI, then you add the Judy Garland versus Hollywood of it all, and it just seems icky. It seems really poor taste.
Is the implication here that this version of Elphaba grows up to become the Margaret Thatcher character? Not Margaret Thatcher.
Correct.
The Margaret Hamilton character? That's a totally different movie. God. That's a very different movie. The Margaret Hamilton, she becomes Margaret Hamilton. That's the idea.
God. Oh my god!
I love how it all took us a minute to realize what I said, including me. Wait, that wasn't all right. The Iron Lady became the Wicked Witch of the West. So the implication that she goes off to become the one from the 1945 movie. That's the idea.
Correct.
Okay, I don't see it. It's just having not seen the movie, only watching the trailers. I don't see it. I don't see her becoming the Margaret Thatcher version.
The play dances with the line that I call it the C-3PO fuckery, because in episode 1, I totally buy the R2D2s around, because that happens somewhat organically. I kind of like it's a bit of a stretch, but it's okay. The minute they have Anakin Skywalker building C-3PO, I said, okay, this is too much. This is too much connectivity. The fact that, like, if they'd taken it any further, it would have been too much. But like, Fiyero is the Scarecrow, Bach is the Tin Man. I'm just and yet the problem with the retcons like that is they acknowledge it in the play, and that's how they get away with it. Because once Bach becomes the Tin Man, he is very aware that Elphaba is the Wicked Witch and that she presumably did this to him. Oh no, wait, he doesn't know that, does he?
No, he just wakes up and he's like, "Oh, wait."
That's right. And Fiyero doesn't know that Elphaba turned him into the Scarecrow.
And except I feel like he does, because at the very end, they're together and he's still the Scarecrow. So
yeah, which is a little fucked up, but
interesting.
And it's like, lady, it's like, sir, good sir, you're gonna stay with her even though she turned you into a scarecrow.
Well, to be fair, she wasn't like, make him a scarecrow. She was like, don't let him die. And then the Grimmery's a bit of a monkey's paw, Justin.
Gotcha. One of those scenarios. I get that reference.
I understood that reference.
Because like, I would have figured it'd be closer to the original book, where the Wicked Witch chops off his an arm, keeps chopping off his limbs until he slowly becomes a Tin Man. In fact,
No,
that's the backstory to the Tin Man.
no, thank you. No, thank you. No, thank you.
Well, and I gotta say, as a Tin Man fan, I hate the fact that Bach is the Tin Man because Bach is such a little bitch. I don't like that.
Which is why in the Wizard of Oz, he so easily rusts. And then
no, there's a difference between having a heart and being a little bitch.
Have a heart.
No, I'm talking about
if I only had a heart.
If you only had, actually, it should have been. In my opinion, it should have been like if the Scarecrow had brains, but also if the Tin Man had brains and a heart at the same time, because he don't have brains, because he went like
but that's the moral of the story. That's the moral of the story, though, is that they have those things all along.
Sure.
Did Bach though? Because it seems like he's.
Well, that's why I don't like Bach as the Scarecrow. I mean, the Scarecrow as the Tin Man, because Bach is a heartless. Well, Bach is a heartless little prick, like literally, and the whole point is the Tin Man had a heart the whole time. So it goes. It kind of flies in the face of the character, and it's a character that I love. I was very proud. I was very proud to have played the Tin Man in my second grade production of The Wizard of Oz. Nobody took that shit away from me. I studied for that shit.
Oh goddamn!
I knew all my lines for the audition.
He took the character seriously. He watched the original Wizard of Oz 100 times to prepare.
Goddamn right I did.
That is a perfect way for me to segue into this. I don't know if I told you this, Jake or Justin, but did you guys know I auditioned for this movie?
No.
I auditioned.
I did not know that.
I auditioned. I sent in a tape.
Really?
For which character?
Nessa Rose, because a social media post came out saying they were looking for people in a wheelchair, and I was like, hey, I'm in a wheelchair, so I will audition. So I auditioned. I sang the song between Nessa Rose and Bach.
Oh, that's such a We Deserve Each Other, I believe.
Yep. Yep.
It's a damn good song and a really good moment for Nessa Rose, so that's a good audition song for her.
Yeah. I didn't get it, obviously, but
So when are you uploading the tape?
I'm not.
Why not?
I don't have it anymore. I deleted it.
Oh, come on. Be proud of that.
I mean, yes, obviously, but who'd you send it to?
John M2.
Well, now you know you have to redo it. For the fans.
I don't know if I'm gonna. I'm a horrible.
Hey,
fan.
I sang 3 times on this podcast.
Yeah, and
I did sing, but everyone benefits from that. No one wants to hear that.
And I kept my mouth shut.
Ooh, it wasn't very good, was it? That was a bad Simon Cowell impression.
I chose not to Simon Calvin you.
Wasn't very good. Okay. You stink. I'm kidding.
You're quite terrible.
I still love you, though. I still love you.
Maybe don't quit your day job.
Maybe don't quit. I will quit my day job.
I still love you, though.
The funny thing is, Simon Cowell's actually like a really nice guy.
Yeah,
he is. Yeah,
he's actually a genuinely just delightful and wonderful, warm person. But British dicks do really well on American television. It's the same thing with Gordon Ramsay. Like if you watch Gordon Ramsay's shows in the UK, he's like the sweetest man ever.
Yeah, he came to America. Yeah, if you watch like Kitchen Nightmares in America and Kitchen Nightmares in the UK are two decidedly different shows. In the UK, he's like, hey, yeah, how about maybe you think about giving this a shot? And the British guy's like, oh, right, we'll give it a shot then. And then in America, he's like, hey, maybe
get out of the kitchen, you fucking bust.
Yeah, pretty much. He's like, hey, maybe you give this a shot. It's just an idea. And like, fuck you. Like, man, that's America in a nutshell. Like nothing more American than not taking constructive feedback.
Well, no, because the rest of the world is wrong about everything.
Right?
So
very
Wicked.
funny. Wicked. If you care to find me, look to the western sky.
That wasn't bad, but also an amazing joke.
Boom.
As someone
wasn't
told
bad.
me
That was
lately.
that was bad.
It's cause he lives on the West Coast.
It's true.
That was horrible, but also amazing at the same time.
What can I say? It's that West Coast energy.
Whatever.
Anyway,
Because I'm 3 hours before you. That's why I'm in the past.
Who's the Wicked Witch of the South?
Who's the Wicked? Is there a Wicked Witch of the East in Wicked?
Yes,
yes,
Who's the Wicked
it's
Witch of the
Nessa Rose.
East?
Nessa Rose.
her sister.
That's Rose's. Oh, she does have a sister. Is she also green?
She's the one that
No.
gets hit by crushed by the house.
Yes,
Yep.
yes. I'm familiar with the Wizard of Oz, but so she's not green.
She is not green.
She is not
Oh,
green.
interesting. So would she be the same character as Oh, not the Mila Kunis character. The other one.
The other
I forget
one.
her name.
Can I just
in
say?
Oz the Great Powerful?
Can I just say though too that like her mother kind of fucked her over by drinking that like green elixir.
You
Cause-
think?
Find out why she's green?
Because that's why she's
Well,
green.
It's alluded to that it's the green elixir. It's also alluded. Okay, so this is a fun little Easter egg. I don't think you might know better than me, Haley. You probably do know better than me. Is it ever confirmed that the gentleman caller with the green elixir was in fact the wizard?
Yes.
Okay, I thought it was confirmed, but yeah, so that's a little Easter egg.
So it's implied. Wait, implied that the wizard is the Wicked Witch of the West's dad.
Yes.
Yes. Forget at what point that's implied, though.
Yes, that's implied. It's implied when she goes back to.
Oh, that's right, because part of a sentimental man, he's like, who always wanted to be a father.
Yeah.
Except when Jeff Goldblum,
Jerry.
except when Jeff Goldblum sings, he's like, because I always wanted to be a father. Very subdued.
Well, that's my thing with Jeff Goldblum. He just feels out of place in a musical. I don't know. It's not the casting I would have gone with.
But yeah, I really like the casting. I'm sorry, I do. I like the casting.
I love. I'm not. You can't make me hate Jeff Goldblum. Jeff Goldblum. They can never
can.
make me hate you. They can never make me hate you, Jeff Goldblum.
I would think when I was a kid, I wanted him to be my dad instead of the dad I had.
I mean, I've got so many. One of my favorite Jeff Goldblum moments is on Friends, in the episode where he's playing the dickhead director, and Joey's really got to pee, and he's doing this like dialogue conversation with him, and he's just being Jeff Goldblum, taking 1,000 years to say a line, and that's you never loved me. You never respected me. And just the way he's doing it, like it's so Jeff Goldblum. It's so funny. I mean, also I love Jurassic Park too. It's one of my favorite Jurassic Park movies.
I will say though that I'm kind of almost glad I didn't get the role of Nessa Rose though, because it makes more sense with the person that they chose. It just makes.
Well, so you would have just been far too successful to do this podcast.
You would have forgotten us little people, would have left us all behind.
Hey, this was way before I was doing the podcast.
Okay, fair enough. That is true. That is true.
Oh, really? I guess that would have been a couple years ago, yeah.
So if you had gotten it, I wouldn't have been able to be in the theater and been like, holy shit, that's my friend Haley. Go Haley.
Hey, I know her.
Yeah.
Good for her.
Send me some of that residual money.
Hey, maybe. Do you think you could get us in touch with Ariana Grande?
Yeah, no.
Just for an autograph.
I mean, I would.
Or she can come to my birthday party.
Oh, I would have been settled for. Hey, check out the Arte Podcast Pantheon.
Only if she sings it.
I won't be able.
Especially
I say
if she
this every
sings it.
time, and I eventually do, but I don't know if this is gonna happen. I don't think I will be able to get Ariana or Cynthia on here.
I mean,
just try. You must try.
Try. There is no try. Only do.
And try harder. And stuff. Sagely wisdom. Philosophical musings. Words.
Nominate these women for an Oscar. Academy Award winner Ariana Grande. Has a nice
Anyway,
ring to it, doesn't it?
That would look good on her shelf.
I'm just saying.
are there any other points you guys wanted to talk about?
Part
I'm
2
sure there
coming out
are.
next December, January, or November. Is it coming
No,
out exactly?
it's next November. It's next November.
November. I know they bumped
November
up the
21st.
date. 21st.
Yeah.
I know that they bumped up the date by like a couple days, didn't they?
Yeah, it's November 21st.
Yeah. Yeah.
I will just say this: if you're a real Broadway snob and you're like, I'm not going to the movie theater because this is art, this is stage production, get over yourself and go see the movie because it's awesome.
Right.
It's really good.
There needs to be more cross-pollination amongst the arts. That's my statement.
Very much so, yeah, because it's like everybody's alluded to up to this point. Tickets sales are up for the stage shows because of this movie.
Oh, for sure. I look, anytime I hear there's been big groundswell support on any movie that people are going to the theaters, I want people to go to the theaters.
Yeah.
I want them to go to the theaters. Yeah, we want to see movies make money. We want to see the theaters survive, man. I don't want to watch all my shit on a tablet in my bedroom. It's depressing.
Not only that, but like I said before, it literally boosts Broadway ticket
Good for everybody,
sales.
man.
Yeah,
good for the goose, good for the gander.
And it's going to increase book sales because that book's going to be flying off the shelves because of this movie. And okay, another PSA: if you've never read the book, and let's say your child who is I don't know, under the age of 16, well, under the age of 18, read the book first, and you can make that judgment call. It's not what you think it is.
It's not the play. It's not the musical.
It's not the play. Do not give your 12-year-old a copy of Wicked, because many parents did when the musical made it big.
Yeah.
You're not the first people to say that. I've seen a number of TikToks come across my screen be like, pause on the book for now.
Let me just say this. You see a picture of Ariana on the cover. Think about it first, because just because Ariana's on the cover doesn't mean you should buy the book.
I'm just saying, go to your local library.
You should buy the book. You should buy the book, but like read it first, and then decide if you
don't
like
give
it
it.
trial.
Yeah, don't give it to your kids. Because, like I said, there is a tiger orgy. That is the thing that happens.
Library, there's also get a library card. I assume you people have libraries in America.
I heard from one of my friends too that there's a part where Elphaba's mother's standing naked and just standing there naked in like somewhere, I can't remember where.
Oh, that's the least of it. Nah, I'm not going to bring that up.
Yeah,
there are words that are used that you will have to explain to an 11-year-old that you don't want to explain to an 11-year-old. We'll just leave it at that. Although, fun fact, in the book, Fiyero is blue.
Da-bu-dee-da-bu-da?
What the heck?
Yeah, Fiyero, Winkies are blue and yellow, apparently.
So he's a Smurf.
No, he's a Winky. Smurfs are little. Like Munchkins are supposed to be.
Yeah, but in the Broadway play, they weren't, so they went towards the...
I know. I'm just saying that basically every Munchkin in Munchkinland was taller than Glinda. That's all I'm saying.
To be fair, Ariana Grande is like a
not the
tiny
kids.
person.
Not the kids.
Not the kid, not the children, but I mean, they weren't that much shorter. Ariana Grande is a very, very small person. So
isn't she she's barely over 4.5 feet? I'm pretty sure she's like tiny.
Isn't she like 4'11" or 4'10"? Like she's very short.
She's my height. She's my height. I'm 4'11".
Oh yeah.
I thought she was under 5 feet. Yeah.
She's exactly my height, and I thank God for that, because yay.
Well, here's one more thought I had. Because Jordan said this to me, and if Jordan, you guys both know Jordan well enough at this point to say that if Jordan says this, it really is something. He had heard that Ariana Grande was too skinny in this movie, and he went, what, not whatever, and then he saw a clip from it, and he went, yeah, she kind of is, and he went, if I'm saying she's skinny, she's probably too skinny.
I don't know about too skinny, but I mean, she's pretty petite in this movie.
I just remembered another thing I wanted to ask you guys your opinions on.
Maybe.
Perhaps.
I
could see my way.
there was a lot of conspiracy about her and Ethan Slater's relationship because they're together.
This should be banging SpongeBob, yo.
Yeah.
Wait, that little fucker SpongeBob?
Yeah.
He plays SpongeBob, yeah.
He's playing SpongeBob on.
Oh wow, he's really slumming it.
Yeah, he's very famous as SpongeBob, yeah. Actually, that musical's quite good, apparently.
And there's a lot of conspiracy about like how she pardon my language, but she's quote unquote a home wrecking
A home wrecking hoe?
Yeah.
The internet's words, not mine.
Because Ethan Slater has a 2-year-old son. Had a 2-year-old son during filming, and she was separated from her husband, but not yet divorced, and they got together after filming.
I would say Ethan Slater has his own agency and should take responsibility for his own actions instead of immediately blaming the woman.
Right.
Legal separation is a thing.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly.
That's my opinion.
And when you look like Ariana Grande, honestly, you can get away with some shit.
Right. I mean, yeah.
And
that's not a slight at Ariana Grande, by the way. That's just they have eyes.
They were both separated from, like, she was separated from her husband, and he was separated from his wife. So yep. I feel like it's just.
It's whatever. Consenting adults who made a decision. I heard about this. I tend not to do celebrity gossip, but I did hear about that. Mostly because everyone thought it was funny that she was banging SpongeBob.
I think he does the voice.
No. He played him on Broadway.
Still, you think he does the voice?
Oh, during. I imagine, yeah. She also does the cat voice from Victorious. During. She does the laugh.
Oh my god.
I found that character oddly endearing for some reason, and I don't know why. I can't explain it.
She's a character.
I just want to take her by the hand and be like, "You'll be okay. Just keep at it. You'll get there."
I saw that documentary about the kids.
That's how I know her from. I knew her from Victorious, and I followed her ever since.
So did I. Well, I did one of those separation things where, like, I didn't put together that it was the same character till, like, I kept hearing her name and I didn't put together that it was the same character till, like, decades later. I was like, oh, she was on Victorious. I watched that show. I was more of an iCarly guy, but I watched that show.
Fucking Gen Zers.
But
I'm a millennial.
I'm not a Gen Z either. We were discussing that. I don't know.
I think you would qualify as I don't know. It's arbitrary.
I'm 26.
It's arbitrary.
So
no, you would be a Gen Zer. The millennial envelope is way too big, in my opinion.
A little bit. I think it's between millennial and Gen X.
No, Gen X is very different. But so I actually believe there are two subcategories, and there used to be Gen Y and then millennial, and here's the difference. So if you belong to what is now perceived as the millennial generation, but your parents were Gen X, then you're a millennial. But if your parents were baby boomers like mine, you would be considered Gen Y in my book, because you were raised completely differently on a balance of probabilities.
My parents are Gen X, so we have a far more, shall we say, liberal attitude towards social issues as a result.
Oh, and you're Canadian too, so there's a cultural difference there. It was like, if your parents were Gen X and grew up in Alabama, you'd be a little bit different.
True and fair.
But anyway, we're talking about Wicked. Do you think... I don't know, I was trying to ask a witty question, and I'm like, shit, I can't think of anything.
Do you think that this is going to be popular?
Do you think there's a subset of... I see what you did there. It's going to be popular. Do you think there's a subset of the animal community that is like pro putting animals in cages?
I mean,
they're just like, we belong here.
If it operates anything like humans, yeah.
That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah,
it's like self-hating animals.
Do you think there's like a subset of the animal community who is into humans and finds it weird?
Jake, I just why are
Oh,
we
absolutely.
going?
Well, again, tiger orgy.
Right,
Why
right,
are we
tiger orgy.
going? Why are we going down this route?
Because it makes you uncomfortable and it's
Because
funny?
when you have talking fucking animals, you kind of have to go down that route. It's a rabbit hole that you are forced to go down.
Not, and
Because the
also to be
rabbits
clear,
wear pants
he both means talking fucking animals and talking
and
colon
talking fucking animals.
fucking
Yeah.
animals.
Oh
Yeah,
my
yeah,
god! Oh my god! This is my pocket. This is the
yeah.
podcast episode, guys.
It was a PG rated movie. What have we done? We need to end this now.
I'm just saying, I'm not the one who wrote that scene in the book. If you have a
True.
problem with it,
I'm
contact the author and voice your displeasure. I had nothing to do with it. And
I
had
am
I
so
been his
sorry.
editor, I would have been like, the fuck?
Hey man, even Stephen King wrote the back half of it.
Well, and if I'd been his editor, I'd been like, Steven, the fuck?
You have,
Steven, lay off the
you have
cocaine.
problems.
This is
Anyway.
something.
One thing I love, one thing I do love about Wiki though too is Stephen Schwartz is the guy who did the Broadway musical, but he came back to do the music
did he?
for the movie.
I can't. Okay, then I seriously can't believe there isn't an original song because when they come back, they always do Alan Menken. When he came back and did an original song, they're always like, "Well, I'm coming back. I need to do something new." Like that really genuinely surprises me. There
But
isn't
this
a
is
new
Wicked.
song.
You can't fuck up like that.
I was gonna say he's still cashing checks for his original work, so he's probably like, "Nah, we're gonna do the exact same thing."
So it's not, but is it like because like one thing the in terms of like it changed instrumentation, I always go to the Aladdin remake. I quite like one jump in that movie. I like the instrumentation in that. I like how it adds new instruments, like new guitar. Does it add stuff to the instrumentation that makes it sound more full?
I think so. To me, it seemed like a much more vibe. Which this isn't cutting up the orchestra and the stage play because it's incredible. It seems like it's fuller to me.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I like about cinematic scoring when it comes to musicals. That's good. That gives me hope that the music sounds good.
That was my last point.
Wicked.
Excellent, because as much as I'd love to do this all day, my phone's about to die.
Yeah. So you know what? Go see Wicked Part 1 and then wait till next year for Part 2, even though I don't want to wait till next year, but whatever. I want to wait. I don't want to have it now, but whatever.
Hey, be happy if I had my way. You would have waited 3 years.
It's true.
Well, thank God that you ain't in charge of it.
Tell me there wouldn't be people waiting.
There wouldn't be.
Oh, sure, there would be. There are people chomping at the bit like zombies from The Walking Dead. Be like,
God.
Popular, gonna be popular.
it's gonna be popular.
I'm defying
Okay.
gravity.
Oh well, okay, guys. I'm surprised. I'm really surprised I didn't cry. I didn't cry during this episode, so I'm good with that.
Our derailments are good for emotional stability.
And again, I will say one last time, Cynthia, Ariana, thank you so much. Thank you so much for everything that you did. You did justice to my witches. Just thank you. And
Justin, are you thinking the same thing I am?
No, I don't know. Maybe I'm just imitating your face.
Cynthia.
So, wait. Is this a Star Trek reference?
No, 22 Jump Street.
Oh, yeah.
hey, guess what, Jake?
It's a movie. I held it together as best I could.
Okay, well, that's it. I want to thank you guys for watching, and I am sorry for these two. I don't know why I keep inviting them on.
I apologize for
I
nothing.
do. I know you. I know you don't.
Because we always answer the call. Hello.
Well, again, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you, Eternal Stars, later. Bye.